Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
What's happening?
Not much, mate. Same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sound like you
Tony, how
just
you
got
doing?
done. Sound like you just got done waking up or something.
I've been laying down trying to sleep, but bloody slept bloody too long yesterday. So, what are you doing up, Tony? Yeah, I got your emails. I'll check that stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah, a question, I guess, on that topic you could ask is when does trolling become cyberbullying?
That's a good question. Because there is kind of what I would call harmless trolling. When you're getting online and you're just want to irritate somebody by like show me your butthole or something. You know what I mean? You just it's nothing harmful. It's just
Yeah,
you're being kind of goofy, but yet you're at the same time it's disrupting maybe a topic or chat or whatever. If people having some political discussion about whatever, and someone the next post is show me your butthole, then it's just some people would be funny, other people like why are you interrupting our conversation type of thing. So
yeah,
that would be harmless trolling. Then there's obviously the hateful trolling, racism, attacking that person in some very negative way, or even they're getting involved with their family or whatnot.
yeah. Hey, how you doing, WTF? Look, I know a lot of the shit's going on and that. I think there's some people that the community needs to be warned about, and shit does need to be brought up. Um, I guess for me, the bit that bugs me a little bit is when other guys get brought into it. That guilty by association thing.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, give me just a couple of minutes or something. We need to make a little noise. Be right back.
No worries. I hope all you guys are doing well. Tony, you're going to struggle if you had a nap earlier. I slept too long last night, so I fucking struggle to sleep tonight. You're guilty. Guilty of what, Tony? Some. It's just amazing how crazy things get. But then you got some fucking total nutcases on you anyway. So
For sure. Man, it's hot as balls today.
someone blocked you on Joey's streams. Jesus, Tony, who the fuck? That's wrong.
So, like a week ago, I got on the shill there and I was talking to, Joey was on there and, oh, hang on a second.
Can't believe you got blocked, Tony. Not on Joey's anyway.
So sorry, I was on that stream like a week ago and, you know, uh, Joey seems to be an alright guy to me, like I don't think him and I would ever be like best friends or anything like that. But I can get along with the guy. But the guy, he seems like he's mad and he gets triggered very easily by the trolls, in my opinion. And I finally was just like, you know what? If you ignore them, block, 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 and that's going to be kind of my new online crusade here is to do a troll elimination, if you will, as best you can. You can't obviously eliminate it completely, but I believe if you ignore, block, 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 majority of it will just disappear. It just will. I not only have I actually seen it work like that before, you can look at other channels, especially if you just want to take the Philippines genre, for example, where people have baited certain vloggers and tried to get them to, you know, get them into the drama, if you will. They just block, 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 ignore, ignore, ignore. So it can work. Now, obviously, and I was guilty of it too, getting involved with the entertainment aspect of it, because there is some entertainment value with watching some of these numbskulls just stand in front of the train barreling at them. You know what I mean? It's just like it's in slow motion. You know they're going to get smacked by the goddamn train. You know what I mean? It may
Yeah.
take years, but eventually it's going to happen. And there's some entertainment with it. You know, whether it be like, oh God, my life isn't so bad, or maybe you, you know, in the Philippines area, you know, you have an affinity for the Philippines, and or you're an American, Australian, whatever, and that particular person is of your countrymen, and you're like, man, this guy's making other people look bad. You know, I get why you want to get involved with it. You know what I mean? But it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
a point, and this is what I told Joey. It's like it comes to a point. An online conversation, online fighting back and forth will never ever end. It's an endless game of troll tennis, and we're just going to volley it back and forth, and it'll never end. And eventually, you got to realize I'm just going to be the better person, not feed the troll. And I'm sure everybody's heard feed the troll, feed the troll. Like, don't feed the troll. You know, if you don't feed the trolls die. They got to go. They got to go find another area to do their trolling.
Yeah, yeah. The particular uh, fighting you're talking about kind of bothers me a little bit because one is Joey copping it for helping out, you know who,
Yeah.
but
Listen, Joey was
you
taken before that just because the way Joey speaks his mind. And listen, Joey's not the greatest talker. You know what I mean? If you want to get your point across to somebody and really kind of have a debate and have a good discussion, you gotta quit using f bombs. You know, you gotta quit using derogatory terms when you want to talk to somebody to get your point across. You know what I mean? It's not just him. It's a lot of people. You know, not trying to just pick on him at the moment, but we're using him as an example. You got to talk with reason with somebody, and that person don't want to be reasonable, or if they're just trolling, or they're just not a good human being, and you realize they're not a good human being, you just got to ignore them. You just got to, like any community based throughout history, if there was a person who was not good for the community, they would shun him. You know what I mean? They would kick him out of the community. Then he have to go to another community to troll, beg, scam, you name the things that people don't like. Eventually, he had to move to a different area. I mean, we can look at history how these things have worked. You get rid of him in one community, then obviously they're going to move to the next one and continue the thing until he can't do it there anymore, or it could be a she, and then they got to go to another community, blah blah blah, so forth. You can't stop a person who's shitty, to put it bluntly. You can't stop them forever doing it. You can't, but you can stop them within your community. And I did listen to a portion of the Brown Pony, the Go Go thing, and Gypsy Jaywalk was on there. And he made I only happened to listen to that part. He made a good point. It's like, you know, people got to police their own community to a degree when, you know, obviously authorities aren't going to get involved online. So you got to kind of police yourself to a certain degree, you know, of people that you do or do not want in your community. And if, you know, people agree overall that we don't want this person, then everybody, not just like you and I need to block them, but we need to get everybody to stand up together and just block this person, have them ignored, and then, you know, we got rid of them here. Unfortunately, they're going to go elsewhere and probably start the same shenanigans. But, you know, maybe if we're lucky, we can, you know, let them know, hey, this person is like this, and then, you know, move on.
yeah, I think when we're talking communities, though, the YouTube community works a little bit different, Lost. It's not like you can just kick someone out of that community and
It does work differently, but you can. All right, listen. I mean, how many? I tried to do a count one time. There's like 50 plus vloggers just in the Philippines. Okay, some of them are minor scale, some of them very large. I mean, how many really Philippine vloggers are actually involved in this drama shit?
well,
I mean,
the
like
smarter one.
10% at the most. A couple did get involved and they got the hell out. You know what I mean? They're not even involved in it anymore.
Yeah, the smarter ones don't want that shit in their channels. Full stop.
Yeah, the smarter ones don't want it at all, and then sometimes you get pulled into it, and then you realize this is, just not worth it at all. It's not worth nobody. It's not really worth nobody's time. I mean, unless you got some kind of crusade against somebody, it's just not worth your time. It just truly isn't. Like I said, you can't completely eliminate them because there's a few guys in this Philippines community that are always just going to be nasty people, but you ignore them. I mean, if you don't want a particular person in your life, I mean, what do? You pretty much, I mean, let's say you have to work with them. I mean, you just keep it, you keep it ethical and you don't do anything else with them. I mean, there's no need. The other day I was on, and I alluded to you in that email I sent you. And of course, they're bashing a couple of the vloggers in the community, and the people in the chat. It was atrocious. Some of the things these guys were saying. They were talking about people's wives and girlfriends. I mean, it was a troll fest. I mean, it was. I was because I don't pay attention to the chat a lot of time, as you know. I was pretty appalled by a lot of the things the guys were saying in that chat.
I think Popeye was on here once and we were talking about this. He called it tribalism, and I think it's rife in YouTube.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And
Um,
listen, and to some degree, we'll just pick on Bama for a moment, because he seems to be a hot topic all the time. I mean, there's a reason that people dislike the guy. I mean, he's not a good guy. There's a reason why people want
that's
to
right.
go after him. But to the point, I'm starting to see where the guys who are wanting to, in a way, try to shun him, but they don't want to shun him completely because they don't want to ignore him. They want to keep talking about him because they like the entertainment, they like the drama. These are people say they don't like the Kardashians, for example, was nothing but drama and just horrific people, in my opinion. Just it don't matter how rich you are to be trash. You know what I mean? Um, but they like the drama of this trashy person, and they're going to keep on going it. Whereas you could just completely ignore him, realize he's just not a good person, and take different actions. But instead, it's almost they're doing almost as bad as what this person doing by trying to talk about him because they're bringing in the trolls too because they're bringing the stuff that was said in the chat was just I was kind of shocked, and some of the people I've seen out there before I was kind of shocked they were saying certain things. And I mean, that shit needs to end. I mean, we need to one reason I like to come here because we don't really talk. I mean, we get involved in drama occasionally. For the most part, we're talking about a lot of random topics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that
Which is
was the
why I like
whole
to come
idea.
here because because I don't know how long it's been, a year or more. I've kind of just gave up on the drama in general. I mean, I will talk about it occasionally, but it's just we need to stop it. But men need to be men here and quit being little bitches, quit being little drama queens, and all the other bullshit. I mean, if you like it, then that's no problem. I accept you like it. I understand the entertainment value because I got entertainment out of it one time. I totally understand that. But if you don't want it, if you're on chat saying you hate the drama and dislike the drama, well, here's your chance right now. Start blocking anybody you think is a troll and is involved in the drama. And if you want to do that, you can succeed at it. And that'll be my piece with it at the moment.
Yeah, look, I hear what you're saying. I think the particular example you used, there's probably more to it where I guess people are sick of him taking advantage of people, and unfortunately, there's new people coming along all the time that he's taking advantage of. And getting back to what I was saying before, I've seen Joey cop shit because of him. And he's really brought Joey down, and I know for a fact that fucking Joey doesn't have the same opinion of him anymore, and but Joey won't come out and say what he knows about the guy. Joey's not like that. Joey's a pretty good guy and keeps to himself. But I can tell you now, mate, fucking um, he's probably learnt the hard way
You know,
what
listen,
guys like.
I don't like the guilt by association as much as the next person. But if I am willingly, if the majority of people know that this person's a bad person, and you're willingly hanging out with them, if you're willingly supporting them, you know what I mean? Like if you're openly saying, "Oh, I think he's a good person," or he's not as bad as it seems. When it's just, to me, it's as clear as the sun comes up that he's not a good person. Then there is, you want to say, what's the matter with this person that's hanging out with this person? I mean, there's got to be some kind of flaw here, or it's either that, or if he is blind to it, and you're telling him that he's done this, this, and this, and they don't want to accept it. I mean, I think you're just open yourself up for scrutiny against people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear it.
I mean, it's one thing if you don't know, like you come in, you start watching some shithead for the first time, and you're just unaware of his past deeds. I mean, this happens all the time. You don't know. I mean, how many people have come on here, to use Bama as example again? We're like, oh, this guy seems fine. He's kind of charismatic in a way, and outgoing. I can see the appeal to him at first. You know what I mean? But then you're like, what the fuck? This guy talks shitty to women, threatens everybody, has a horrible vocabulary, and you can just start, and then the snowball just keeps going down the hill, and then you're like, okay, and the next thing you know, they're on the other channels bashing them where they used to support them. I mean, I can't even count the amount of people that's
Yeah,
happened with.
and
And,
it will continue to happen too.
yeah, myself included. Listen, when I first saw him, he wasn't even in the Philippines yet. And I was like, this broke fucker is going to make it there. And it was kind of a cool trip. It was like, man, I can't believe someone like he was living. When I saw him, dude, he was living in a tent, and he was leaving to go to like New York to get his passport. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yep.
wow. He like hitchhiked across a portion of America to get a passport. It was kind of cool. Now, if he would have kept that same theme going, because he wasn't involved with all the kind of drama stuff, and he wasn't talking a lot of smack at this particular point. If he would have stayed on that path and just talked about how you survive in the Philippines at the bare bones type of budget, he could have had a very successful channel. But instead, his true colors. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty clear. They dug up enough dirt on him already. It's pretty clear the guy's been, kind of a crappy person his whole life. So, you know,
Yeah,
new
yeah,
people will come in. A lot more people are traveling or well, just around the world. But I know we're talking about the Philippines. A lot more people traveling on the Philippines. People want information. They get on YouTube. Next thing they see, so they see him or some other. I mean, there's a shit ton of channels. But eventually they run across him, and then they may or may not get involved in the drama.
yeah. Just reading again. He said, "Barmer is what he is, the hustler." Well, yeah. Again, he's always on the proud to see find the next person he can you know, use up or get money off of the next person to buy him a drink. And yeah, I agree. He is what he is. Um, I understand some people just don't want that to go on though, but
I wouldn't call him a hustler though, because a hustler would be a person who's out there trying to like make a living. Like, I'm trying to hustle. I'm trying to improve my life. He's the opposite of that. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the guy anymore.
no worries. So what have you been doing with yourself? Just back to work and
Yeah, back to work. Had a nice little trip. Visiting the family. Last week, which was good, and
did you go back
back
with
to the
the?
grind.
Did you take the family with you?
I just took my daughter.
Oh wow, okay.
Because the wife just had off. I don't know, like almost 6 weeks or something, so she couldn't take any more time off of work.
Yep,
And because prior to us going to Colombia for a month, she was in Spain for like a week.
yep.
So, but I mean, I'm more flexible. I can take off kind of whenever. But I had to go down there for My dad's not doing so well, medical stuff, so we had to take care of my dad. Not to get overly personal with it, but it was one of the main reasons for the trip. But went down there, got to visit my brother and sister and everything, so it was a good trip.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no worries. I mean, he's all right. He's just, he's getting old.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it happens, doesn't it? It's horrible
Yeah,
to watch.
for sure. I'm gonna go silent here for 5 minutes again.
No worries. How you doing, WAE? Uh-oh. Uh, hope you guys are doing all right. When you say he's everyone's whipping boy, or WAE, he's brought that on himself. I don't know what you can say. I don't think it's going to end anyway. I mean, Nathan's probably got a better idea of what the guy's like, having spent some time with him. He's definitely brought other people down with him, that's for sure, which is a shame. Yeah. Kind of need to be a dreamer to think everyone's going to get along, though. There has been a bit of a battlefield lately, that's for sure. So, what's been happening, guys? You're up late, Graham. What the hell? Uh, yeah, I actually had from what I've been told from someone I really trust and like a lot, he's not that good a guy. So I think most people kind of realise that. Hey, a few weeks off. Cool, Graham. Yeah, yeah, Nathan. I've received messages telling me what he says, but at the end of the day, like, he's fucking Bama. Like, doesn't mean shit to me. Nothing he says means fucking jack shit. No credibility to the guy at all. Ah, well done, WAE. Good luck with all that, man. Hey, Ray. I thought actually he was put on the Swifty by getting into this fucking war of words with the chair, trying to take the heat off himself, which might work. Yeah, some of I mean, this. I guess it depends on just who you want to watch. Beef. We all got a choice. Some of these guys I just won't watch. I won't. I won't bother to give them the view, and not interested in anything to say. Oh, Larry, how you doing? See, you never answered my question either, Larry. It's a bit of a conundrum for you. Well, welcome in here anyway. What are you, Larry? You're the passive-aggressive troll in here? Bad alignment in the stars and moon, maybe, Nathan. Yeah, Graham, I don't know if meds would help that guy, and no idea what he's thinking. I don't care. His PT channel, I'm not sure who PT, who you're referring to, Ray. I mean, at the end of the day, we've all got a choice on who we can watch. Uh, okay. Jeff, okay, I didn't know. I maybe heard something, but maybe you got just sick of talking to the wall, Ray. I did watch him a few times, but seemed like a decent bloke, but just always on the same subject. So, oh, well, that's a good thing, WA. See, that's another channel I don't watch a great deal of because it's usually just going back and forth with the chair and until I get involved or interested in it. I reopened it today. Okay. I've never spoken to him. Like I say, I think we just need to, if you don't like someone, don't watch them. Hey, how you doing, Andy? Good to see you, bud.
Isn't that a simple concept? You don't like, you don't watch. I mean,
Yeah,
how many of you guys here watch the like the Lifetime or Hallmark channel? I'm betting a whole lot, and why not? Because you don't like it. You don't like the holiday operas,
well, yeah, I guess
the love hate.
it's kind of like watching a Justin Bieber film clip.
Yeah, yeah. How come nobody's watching the Nickelodeon channel, or whatever?
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't like something, or if you definitely like a person, especially this, if someone is like just a horrible person, I mean, the chair probably is maybe the best example right now of being just a despicable human, and people are gobbling it up like
yeah,
it's the goddamn Game of Thrones of the YouTube fucking community.
yeah. I don't know. There's a couple people, him and the person we talked about earlier, just you'd like to see them gone from YouTube altogether, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. So, and I mean, if those two were gone, whew, a lot of people, a lot of people would find themselves with a lot of extra time on their hands.
No, they'd find someone else to go after. As you know, I've been on the YouTube scene for a while. If it's not one of those guys, it's somebody else. Maybe someone who isn't as bad. They'll start attacking them. There are people
Yeah,
who just want to attack people. I mean, listen, there's some decent guys that think it's their responsibility to police this community for good and not so good reasons, you know.
well, what gets me is they got issues with some of these guys and what they're doing, but they don't seem to be taking any affirmative action. They,
Yeah, listen, I don't know if some of these guys who complain about some of them have actually taken any like legal type action. Kind of seems like not, but I really don't know.
Well, legally, I'm not
But
sure
that's, I
how
mean, that's
much.
what you got to do. Listen, I'll use Bama as an example here. Listen, I mean, I've said it to his face. I don't think he's a good guy. I think most people agree with that. But as far as I can tell, he's not doing anything illegal. You know what I mean? He, I mean, I watched the video where it looks like he hit the woman, but he looks like he just gave her like a slap on the butt. To me, it don't look like he's done anything that is truly illegal where I need to call the cops on him
Yeah,
or report him somehow, or whatever channel you need to do. Now, there was someone before that I did report to the authorities. I thought it was some criminal stuff going on, and you need as a individual, you need to look at the situation and see if you need to do something about it or not. You know what I mean? But if the person's just kind of a despicable person, not really breaking the law, he's just being an ass, then you should just probably start not watching him anymore. And if they are doing something that is against the law, then you need to take the proper actions, not just bitch, piss, and moan about it.
yeah, I don't disagree. I kind of wonder, like, so many people got connections over there, and some people even over there, why they haven't actually taken some sort of action or, you know, fronted up and faced off with him. But I don't know. Like I said, if him and the chair were gone, I think a lot of people would have a lot of spare time on their hands. Nothing wrong with being a smart ass, Tony, or a shit stirrer for that matter. Um, and there's a couple of these guys who, they deserve everything that fucking they get. But then there's guys out there who've been associated to them who don't deserve what they're getting. Maybe not just MWA, but they're definitely two in the spotlight. Yeah, I guess that's the truth, Nate. But with people having connections over there, they could have already got someone to do that. It doesn't seem like they're doing it. You know, and if you're really worried about what some of these guys are doing, you know, maybe you need to get in touch with, if you got relatives over there, or you know, Filipinos over there, get them to get in there and act.
Yeah. I mean, if something definitely illegal has been done, like different countries have different laws. I know Philippines has the person non grata. If you're that's happened to a lot of people. Actually, a lot of celebrities too have said negative stuff about the country, and they've been kicked out of the country. That seems to be usually when you're only talking political stuff for the most part. At least that's what I've noticed. I've never heard of anybody person non grata that was just saying, for example, bashing Filipino women. I've never heard that ever anybody got kicked out for that reason. And I've never heard about a YouTube vlogger ever getting person non grata. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I mean that is a route. I mean, like I would say, if we're talking about Bama, I don't know if technically he would even qualify for that. I mean, maybe people disagree in the chat. Maybe you can give me your own personal opinion, but I don't even know if it would be warranted for him to have that. You know what I mean? Even though he is kind of a despicable person. You know what I mean?
yeah, well, I won't disagree with that part. Yeah, yeah, Nathan, I imagine that's the case, but surely if they got enough complaints about the guy, uh, they would act. But like I said, it doesn't seem like any real action's getting taken. It's just a word of
Well, listen, I'll
war
say
of
this:
words.
the person I had the beef with, old PV, the Manila hobo. I know for a fact um, people were calling in on him, and a lot of action, at least kind of in a legal sense. People calling in and stuff getting reported to the immigration and all the other outlets they could do. That guy was still there for years. Okay, you got to look at it one thing. Maybe people are doing the right things, but the problem is the government ain't doing that. I mean, honestly, what the fuck's the government going to really care about someone like him for? You know what I mean? I mean, other than the guy was a lying piece of shit and he was just scamming other tourists technically and other people online. I don't know if he was really causing damage in the Philippines. I mean, yeah, he was stealing from internet cafes and a few other things. He was probably doing that kind of stuff. But I mean, the person wasn't like he wasn't going around. I mean, I can't think of something that would be bad enough, just bad enough to make the authorities go after him. You know what I mean? It's like he was staying right in that line of, okay, yeah, I'm doing bad things, but it's not bad enough for people to go after me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
And I'm here to tell you, when I say I want to deal in facts and stuff, I know for a fact he was an overstayer. And what does that really mean? I mean, nothing unless he tries to jump on an airplane or anything like that. Most governments don't really give a crap as long as you're not breaking the laws for the most part. It goes for almost any government in the world, and then a government like the Philippines that's kind of probably understaffed, underpaid, all that kind of stuff. They probably really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to go hunt someone down for overstaying who isn't really being harmful to society. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess some people have this, and I guess it's kind of an issue for me too, the way he uses people. Uh, and he definitely burns his bridges, that's for sure. Uh, I'd hate to see you know, people get sucked into his spew and get used up by the guy.
Yeah,
Which,
I love to warn people, not just like about that. My thing for a while was to, especially around a little before I got married until even now, I'll tell guys like with the online dating thing, talking about a bunch of dumbasses in the world, but just sending money, not even having a passport, telling women you're going there, and, those type of things. Just the mistakes you can see coming from a mile away is the way the women scam men.
yeah,
Um, you put the word out, but the problem is there's so many people that aren't reading this, and then some of the people you sit there and tell them over and over again, don't send money, don't do this, and what do? They do it. So yeah, I think people should be aware of someone like him, but to go on this holy crusade, as I would call it, is a little too much. I think.
yeah, I don't disagree with that. Like I said, if it was just, if you're going to be serious about it, take some actual action. And because at the moment I just see a war of words, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yep, the troll tennis volleying back and forth, it gets nobody nowhere.
If anything, all it does is anyone new coming into the scene gets curious about who he is. I mean, that's how it happened with me.
Yeah, that's well, I already knew him, but who was it? Someone was talking about one time. I had no clue of this person, but they kept talking about him. Then I had to go check him out. Oh, the Larry guy. It's like, man,
Yeah,
because I was like, man, I don't care about this freaking guy, and everything they were telling me, it was like, yeah, I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? And then, of course, I watched it and had to get it confirmed. I guess I needed to know for myself. But if nobody was talking about it, I would have never have known. You know what I mean? I would not have known about the guy. But everybody wanted to talk about how he's a douchebag.
and yeah, and then people get sucked into going and seeing what he's like, and
Which kind of
they're right.
reaffirms my point. If we ignore the trolls, don't talk about them, they're not going to get the traffic. They just aren't. I mean, they'll get some traffic just because they're on YouTube, but besides those guys, I'm just talking about the regular trolls that pop in and say, your mom's a whore, and try to belittle you and talk about things that are just absolutely ridiculous. Like I actually blocked my first person ever, and
Oh wow,
Yep, I
Okay.
said I would probably never do it, but I was on there on the shill, sitting there talking. Now I asked Jay prior to. I was like, Jay, I'm gonna hide this guy. Is that okay? Because all they were doing, he was putting stuff in the chat, and all the guys were doing were responding to his idiotic ridiculousness. I was like, I've had enough of this. I was like, let me show you how it works. I hit him. Nobody talked about him anymore. It was fucking amazing. Ain't that weird how it works? When you don't see them, you're not going to talk about them.
Larry's talking about the other Larry. Yeah, well, I mean, I just don't think that's going to happen. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I don't think that's going to happen with these two. Um, they're not going to. It's not going to go away anyway. Yeah, well, WAE, like you said, I mean, you do shit, and I guess you got to take responsibility for what you do, which you obviously have, which is pretty big of you, mate. And there's no need why hate. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe you was talking about that, Larry. um, you've been very facetious there, Graham. And to be fair, Graham, there's a lot more to it than that. We are seeing a guy taking advantage of people. Um, what I'd heard in the last week from someone that I really like and consider a good friend of mine now. Mate, I'm pissed off because not only has he brought this guy down, he fucking used him, and but this guy's too nice a guy to come on and you know tell anybody, and I don't want to fucking say anything because he's told me this shit in private conversation.
Yeah, not to say who he is, but this person was warned about how he was and what would happen. You know what I mean? It's like when you tell someone, "Hey, that's hot, don't touch it." You know what I mean? Or you'll burn your hand, and they're like, "Oh, okay, whatever," and they go over there and they touch it and they burn their hand. I kind of don't feel sorry for people to a certain degree.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Don't be stupid, and you still are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris,
just decline.
drama seems to be rife on YouTube. Um,
So watch that video. The cyberbullying, I guess, is kind of the topic I kind of wanted to bring up. Is what I was getting at. I don't think we quite said that, but that little YouTube video I sent, it kind of breaks down a little bit of the cyberbullying, and it gave some interesting stats on trolls. How there's only roughly they think I can't remember, it's like 5.6% of people who are actually trolls, but they get like 80 some odd percent of actually all the comment traffic. You know what I mean? So, for example, like I brought up earlier about the political things, they're talking about Trump or whatever, and some guy comes in, show me your butthole. Then it starts a whole new thread starts with this troll guy. I mean, he literally just broke the conversation up. You know what I mean? That's why I
well,
say if you want to eliminate majority of them, we just have to block them or ignore. I mean, you can't ignore. Well, I guess you can agree. You just don't watch. But I mean,
the problem is you get those that are so entrenched in doing that you know you've got them forever creating new accounts and trying to cause even more trouble. And sometimes it's
oh,
better
listen,
not to.
it's not easy. It's a nuisance, And they can create probably infinity accounts. I mean, I don't know if there's a limit to how many you can even make throughout the YouTube thing or whatever. But unfortunately, they come in. If someone comes in and says, you're a piece of shit, and your mom's a whore, blah blah blah, whatever you can think of, hit that block button.
Yeah.
And you might have to do it 50 times every stream or whatever, 100 times a day. I mean, you just have to do it. And that's going to,
Well, I
like I
mean,
said, that's going to be my new crusade.
well, that's why you got the mods anyway to handle those sorts of characters.
Well,
But
that helps, but we've seen how that gets out of control too, because they just decide to block people they don't like.
yeah, 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 I've seen that, and then I've seen the case where I've had people blocked that I didn't want blocked and didn't even know they were blocked. Um, and so I had to take all the wrenches away and then just dish them out again as I seen fit. And I should have checked my block list again today to make sure that those guys who have got the wrenches now aren't abusing that and doing the same thing again. Now, well, it's changed WAE. Um, Unfortunately, YouTube is a great format, but it's also a format that suits these guys. Well, that's true to Ed to an extent, I guess. But you like to trust that your mods are going to do the right thing. Oh, Jesus, Larry. Thing is, we're going to get that situation where someone will come in and say something because they don't like somebody. And I think you have to a certain extent, allow people to have an opinion. You just We just need to keep a check on what actually is being said, and that people don't cross a certain line.
Yeah, you can disagree and have other viewpoints, opinions, whatever, and not go down to the your mom's a whore topic. You know what I mean? You can. There's respectful ways to talk to people if you disagree with them.
Yeah, I'm not
Which
sure,
most
Brian.
people on your channel tend to do. So for the most part, it is pretty good.
Look, we've had some trouble in the past with a few guys, but yeah, you just got to deal with them as they come along. Yeah, I'm not sure. Brian and his wife seem nice people. Don't know why he'd have picked up a stalker, but there's some crazy people out there. Doesn't take much for someone to take a disliking to somebody. Well, WAE, you're not the only one. There's been a few people that go on Barry's show that been dirtied by the fact that they associate with him. I think that's wrong. But it's going to happen. WAE, we can't stop that. Like I said, what I don't like, I guess, is I'm seeing Barry fucking bring other people down. And he definitely took advantage of a friend of mine, and I guess proved that you're best off keeping away from the guy. And yeah, there is the guilty by association thing. And it's kind of funny that the guys who were originally talking about that do the same shit themselves. So payback's a bitch. Well, it can be. But, if you're getting blocked from channels WA, they don't want you there. Probably not worth getting upset about, because why would you want to be at a channel where they don't want you anyway? There's plenty of others to go to. I really don't understand how people can think YouTube gives them the right to be an asshole. The idea that acting like a prick is okay because Yeah, Graham. I I don't understand either. Well, maybe not from Allo's side of things, WAE, I don't know, but it seems that it's pretty rife in the community. Yeah, Tony, but you know what? I don't think I would ever say that call you a troll or offensive in any way. You tend to, you know, yeah, I don't think, yeah, you could, there's no one here that could say that you're offensive in any way. And like I said, I'm kind of surprised that you got blocked on Joey's channel. I'm thinking someone else did it. Joey wouldn't have done it.
Australian Tony?
Yeah, yeah,
Where's
Tony.
Yeah, that guy's despicable. Where's he at? I'm gonna block him.
Yeah, I think we got to. Yeah, there's this. We tend to lump trolls all in the same basket, but they're not. They're not really. We need to define trolls, because some of them are just comedians in waiting. Really, I mean, some of them are funny, clever, intelligent, and do make you laugh. And then you have those who just will come in and cross that line and say things about you know, well, things that just should not be said, or making accusations that should never fucking be put out there without 100% proof. And yeah, Tony, I, if I see him, I'll phone talk to him, but I'm not sure how often he comes on anymore to do streams. But yeah, I've never known you and Joey to have a problem, so I'm thinking it was someone else on his channel that's done it, which is kind of bullshit. But and I'm surprised because I don't think he has too many mods on there anymore. Yeah, I don't know, WAE. I think he's unblocked a lot of people. Personally, I don't like to block unless it's someone that just says something totally fucking out of line. And usually you try and give someone a warning first. It's a shame some people only come on here to do that. They want to get a reaction out of you. That's what I don't understand. Some of the shit's been going on recently. It's just going back and forth, where one person just needs to ignore it and eventually it'll go away. Yeah, you can do that, Gunner. Yeah, no worries, Tony. I know what you're like, mate.
So
Water off a duck's back.
that would be my question to you, and then all the guys in the chat. If we ignore and block, give me a percentage of what you think the trolls would go away. Like, to me, I think if we were to block and ignore, I think 95% of the trolls would disappear.
Well, the thing is, Loss, this is my view, is that there's only a small percentage of them that are doing it anyway, and I'm not so sure that they want to go away or will go away.
Well, no, well, they're not going to want to go away willingly. What happens, and what I've also seen in other channels, is right, they try. They'll try with somebody, they'll bait them, make 20 accounts or whatever. That person just, don't even respond. They just hit ignore or block, however the hell it works. And then suddenly, if you look at these people's channels, you don't see hardly many trolls. I mean, you still get them. You can't, like I said, you can't completely eliminate it, but you can get it down to a very small percentage. You know what I mean? And you can look at channels that have completely ignored it and the ones who get involved, and there's a drastic difference.
Yeah, see, the thing is, though, on these channels, in this limited community. There's like I said, there's a small percentage, and I don't think they're about to go away just because they get blocked. But I hear what you're saying, and
No, they're not going to go away. Listen, eventually, let's say one person gets blocked from every. Let's just use the Philippines for example. They get blocked from every Philippines thing. They're going to move on to Thailand, Cambodia, whatever the fuck, South America, underwater basket weaving. They're going to try to troll there. Okay, a troll just wants to troll, just to be disruptive. And we also know they want the attention, so they're gonna find an outlet. They're hoping to do it in an outlet where something they're involved in or what they like. Excuse me, or something to that effect. But eventually they're gonna have to move on. They're gonna have to go find a different section of the YouTube community to go harass.
yeah, but I think some of these trolls are specific to
Like
community.
when PV finally left the Philippines, like all these guys were rejoicing, yay, we got rid of him. We got rid of him. Well, you got rid of him out of the Philippines, and specifically Philippines vlogging. But I mean, does anybody honestly believe this guy's still not scamming and lying and cheating in different avenues?
Probably, but he's probably going to have a hard time doing it back in the US.
Well, listen. Well, first of all, I know he's still doing it.
Yeah.
He just happened to be doing it in his fake Christian bullshit. That's why I'm saying you don't eliminate the person. He's going to go into another community, and all you can do is police your own community. You can't police every community. If you want someone gone out of the Philippines genre, for example, then it can be done. I've already seen it done before. Okay, I mean it's happened. I promise you, I've seen it happen even before YouTube, just on the regular chat forums and that kind of stuff. Eventually, you block enough of their accounts, they just give up and they move on, and then you might see them in like I said, Thailand or Vietnam, whatever. They're gonna move on somewhere else to continue their trolling for sure.
Yeah,
But you've eliminated them. At least you got rid of them out of your space.
I think though that the ones we got here are specific to this community. That's the problem. They're not, they're not prepared, or they're not interested in trolling anyone else. They're specific to the group of people in this community.
Exactly, but
Lost you,
I don't
lost.
think. So give me a name. Not necessarily a blogger, but just like like
It looks like Lost is busy. Yeah, like I said, guys, I think the trolls that we have here are pretty specific to the community. Yeah, there probably is some, Graham, that do jump in between. You can always troll me, Dick and Cider. How you doing, buddy? Good to see
listen,
you, man. Hope you're well.
hello everybody in the chat, by the way. Sorry. Um, we know for a fact I've seen guys do it where they'll get on here and be like, they'll talk bad about someone maybe we don't like, and then they jump on to that person's thing and they start talking bad about like you or me or something like that. You know what I mean? We got the guys who are actively causing drama, okay? Who are actively participating and helping spread the drama and the hate, okay? We've all seen them. They're there. Now, what you do if you see it, obviously you gotta block it, ignore. But there are guys who are just straight up trolls. They're going to go to everybody's channel and they're just going to cause the mischief or whatever.
Oh yeah, they're out there as well. But I think
Yeah,
the
no,
ones
you block them. You block them from like this channel. Say, all right, so he can't come here anymore. So his only avenue now is to go to the troll field channels.
but what I'm saying,
I don't know, brown ponies. I know all these pony shows. The hell that's going on right now.
Hang on, I think the ones we get though are specific to this community and to the subject and the people.
I agree, but the thing is, even if it is specific, once they are not tolerated anymore and they realize they can't troll, I guess, then they're going to move on.
That's Lost Graham. He's working at the moment, mate.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It probably makes the noise in the background.
No, it's not that bad actually, Lost. And I agree
You
that you
guys
can.
know I'm always working. Come on.
I mean, I don't want to mention one particular name, but we've sort of got rid of one person like that, and I know he had a heap of accounts, and he hasn't been back, so which is good. Chicken choker in
Yeah,
the
Thunder. I'm
house.
telling you, I've literally have seen people get mostly eliminated, not 100%, because people still allow them on certain channels. But I've seen some of these guys just basically they can only go here, and all the other people aren't letting them on the channel. So it does work, and it can work if, but obviously it just can't be one channel that says, okay, I've had enough. It's got to be a kind of a communal effort.
And that's the problem with this community loss is that you've got this side and you've got that side. So um, there's always going to be a channel that's going to allow some of these guys to say what they want. And
Yeah, but if it's just there, not everybody's going there, then you can let them do it there and not say here. You know what I mean? But listen, everybody's got to want it. Listen, if you like the drama, obviously you don't want those guys to disappear. You want the drama. But listen, like I said, this is going to be kind of my new crusade a little bit. I'm going to be all about just blocking the trolls, and I'm actually I will say something to you before I actually block anybody or anything. Thunder on your
yeah, no
channel,
worries.
but I'm going to actually start using my thing when I see someone come in and say hateful shit, and that goes for any of the guys that I happen to know. MJ, I'll use him for example because the dude likes to bait, and I've personally talked to him about the woman, bringing women involved. I've had enough of that dumb shit. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
if there's no if
Secure in
there's
that.
no need to bring a woman into, I'm sorry, I'm making noise in the background. If there's no need to bring now, if someone's girlfriend got on there and started doing something to you, well, maybe you got a right to say something back. But if that hasn't happened, if you just want to be a douchebag and talk about someone's woman, children, whatever, mom, dad, and then you're douchey and you're going to be blocked by me.
Yeah, like I said, it's happened here. I like to give guys a warning, but if they come straight out and say something that is, they've crossed that line, you usually get rid of them straight away, and you know that they're just trouble anyway from what they say. Maybe Nathan. Definitely, I can think of one person whose subs would be mostly trolls. For the most part, we try and you know, talk fucking everything else, but the drama will creep in, and that's normal, I guess. You're blocking yourself, kind of Jesus. Um, and I think it's going to creep in because you know everyone here runs around to a few different channels and they see the shit that's happening or being said, so you can understand it creeping in a little bit. Just got to try and keep it to a minimum, and some of these guys are just not worth the effort. And like I said, it's become a war of words. Where if these guys were serious, they'd just take some action. It wouldn't be hard. It only take a few guys to get together if they've got connections over there to get something done. As saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
If they had connections, get something done, the shit would be done.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And but this is the other thing too. I wonder how many of them really want anything done because it's giving them. It's like I said. If some of these guys were gone, or a couple of these guys were gone, a lot of these guys would have a lot of spare time on their hands, or looking for their next person to concentrate on. Uh, I don't think it's going to. Hey, how you doing, Popeye? Yeah, but the problem is, the particular, say, the two people that really, to me, are the most painful. They're not going to go away. No, you can't control the uncontrollable WAE.
Hey, the Hallmark Channel isn't going to go away, but are you going to watch it?
No.
You know what I mean? Okay. Is whatever other stupid thing you don't like in your life, or is that going to go away? If you don't like Star Trek, for example, you think Star Trek's going to disappear anytime soon?
No, not likely.
So you have a choice. You can continue to watch Star Trek if you don't like it, or you can just not ever watch Star Trek again. So I mean, the choice lies with the person, obviously. Now, certain people can step up in the community and be like, "I'm not going to allow it here." Like if you say, "I don't want it here," then we can take action here, and it may or may not spread. And the next person will be like, "Okay, I don't want the shit here either. I see that this channel's succeeding a little better now because they've gotten rid of the majority of the trolls and drama, yada yada," and then it'll probably spread. But it's got to be a communal thing. And I'm talking to everybody in the chat here. If there's someone you just think is despicable, racist, anything that is just you're against, like if you just hate people who are racist and some guys making racist comments, it's up to you to literally block that person, not to go, "Oh, he's a racist, he's a blah 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 blah, I'm a crybaby." Well, you know what you do is you block them, and then you don't actually have to ever see their comments again.
Look, I don't disagree with you, and like I said, for the most part, the drama's out. We don't really deal with it too much here, but it does creep in, and I'm guilty myself of bringing some of this shit up. And like I said, for me, it's I wouldn't like to see anyone else fucking taken for a ride by one particular guy, and he does do that. Ed, Jesus Christ. Damn. Maybe I should dick inside her.
Well, either you devote your time to making sure maybe you don't scam the next person, and then that means you got to spend a lot of extra time, making videos about it, or whatever outlet you want to use to make it happen.
Well,
Or if it comes up, okay, listen, I'm not saying like completely. Well, I mainly completely ignore the guy, but if they're like a new person comes in here, it's like, "Hey man, I was just watching, the life in the Philippines Bama butthole. Man, this guy seems pretty cool. He's doing this and that." And then we're like, "All right, listen, guy, we know you're new. This is what he does. Lay it out to him." And then he has a choice from there to either accept what we said, learn on his own, and continue to support him or whatever it might be. But if
well,
you
I'm not
just let
about.
people know and not continually bash on a daily basis the person, you know.
Well, I'm not about to go and put videos out about anyone. I mean, there's channels doing that now, and they do a pretty good job of that. Um, but whether they're having the desired effect, I don't know. It doesn't seem to. Um, I mean, I have seen a particular guy's channel go downhill, so maybe you know they're having a slight effect, but uh, it's not going to make him go
And
away
I
anyway.
guess that would, yeah, it's not going to make them go away. I guess that would be my point. All the people making all the channels that have propped up specifically to, I want this person to not do this. I want to get the information out about them. Has some effect, but I would agree that it's pretty small. Um, you know, if you want to know obviously about the person, then there's easy ways to find it. But I would say the just the I don't know the crusade, if you don't like a person, just to continually bash them and trash them, to me gets nowhere. It's like the reverse trolling or something. I'm not sure
Well,
how to
the
say it.
guy, I mean, I see Barry fucking had a go at me on one of his streams. Um, I'm not sure, it was a day or two ago, but I'm not about to go make a stream just to talk about him because one, he ain't worth my time. Secondly, he's not intelligent enough to put up a decent argument anyway. So when he goes and calls people an imbecile, well, it's kind of funny. It's really worth laughing at. Hey, Magic, how you doing? Hey, Trusty. Yeah, well, maybe that's the truth too, Trusty, but sometimes the point isn't to make them go away. The point is to piss them off and make them blow their top. You know what? Yeah, I can see that
That's
too.
just a art. No, that's just a form of trolling. You're doing what I was just trying to say, the reverse trolling. That means you're entertained by it and you want to continue to watch it, and that's fine. If you like that, more power to you. But if you really want, like me, is what I'm trying to say here, I don't want it anymore. I just don't. So I'm just going to ignore, block, 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 block. I think I've made my point pretty strong at the moment this far. I think, and if you're in line with me, then please help me do that. If you're not, then that's cool. I have no problems with it.
Oh no, I see what you're saying, mate. And look, covering Dick Insider. I mean, Dick Insider, and there's a couple of others out there that do it in a very entertaining way. Um, and as one guy has put it, I don't want to uh, point him out, but he, he says he only uses the guy's own words. So yeah, Lefty. It's hard for us to understand. We haven't been the victim of the attacks that Dick Inside has been forced to endure. There's some of these other guys at the channels that you know those guys you know have had these guys talk about doxing them and putting their attacking their families and harassing. So I mean, when you've been the victim of that, it's probably going to look at it a lot differently to how we're looking at it.
Well, hold on. Actually, I can totally relate to that because that did happen to me. So I understand where a DNC is coming from, and some of these other guys who have been doxxed and
Oh,
had their
well,
family members. Oh, go ahead.
that's happened to the Popeye. I've seen them put out his name, where he lives, and there's no way you can condone that sort of action, mate. And you can understand then why these guys go on the attack.
Well,
Um,
yeah, exactly. This is another thing I'm trying to point out here. I understand it. I understand you want retribution. You want to retaliate. You just got attacked. You assaulted. Like I said, everybody's got a different trigger that sets them off. 100% I agree. And I was one of the guys who got, listen, I'm not innocent. I was one of the guys who got massively involved with somebody. Everybody knows who it is. I don't got to say it. And, I took every action I could to, to try to make him disappear. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I was pissed. I was angry. And I was mad. And guess what the result was? Not a fucking thing. There was some. Enough people finally got on board, and took also helped, within the legal stuff and getting his name out there, which ultimately did help because his lifestyle got drastically hit. But the reality of it was nothing truly happened to the guy. The efforts I put in, like nothing really happened. You know what I mean? And then for me, the light bulb finally went off. Was like, I am wasting my time. This is a guy who was just basically scum of the earth. Um, he'll never reason. He'll never ever reason. And me just him throwing insults and me throwing insults back. Just the troll tennis is just a nonstop game. It'll never end unless one person wants to step up to be the better man. And in my opinion, I stepped up to be a better man just to ignore the fucker.
yeah. Well, you weren't the only problem that had issues with that guy. That's for sure. How you doing, Mister Tux? Um, but yeah, look, with some of the shit that's been done, I can totally understand why guys react and why they're doing what they're doing. And I'm not going to can them for that.
Oh yeah, like I said, 100%. I agree, but it also comes to a point. I don't know the time period. You know, for me it was like I went on for probably like a year and a half. Could have been 2 years, but eventually it was like, well, actually within that period I stopped a couple times and got dragged back in. But then I finally was like, first of all, it goes against like my whole, you know, Buddhist, teachings and everything. And I realized I was just being a dumbass. Honestly, I was being really stupid about what I was
Mm.
doing.
You're being human, actually, Lost.
Well, yes, of course, but I went against everything I kind of stood for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and I realized, first of all, it's not getting anywhere, and I realized I'm going against everything I was doing, and I need to. Not to mention, I'm spending time with this. I could have been doing other things. I was, really looking back on it, it was mostly a waste of time. And not completely, but most of it was a waste of time. And not that I regret doing it. I'm glad it happened, so now I can speak about it and then share it. But it's mostly a waste of time, guys, and most of the guys will realize that it's not worth their time eventually.
Gunner, Andy's around. He's been good, so probably catch up with him soon. He was over the other day, actually. Lost. Stepping up is great, but sooner or later you have to call them out. I think so too. And
No,
I
you
mean,
have
we
to call. All right, listen. For example, all right, listen. There's too many guys that don't need to be calling anybody out. You use DNC for example. Like DNC got doxxed. A lot of things were said bad about him. Okay. I understand. You've got to call them out. This is bullshit. I'm taking it. Like I don't know if he took legal action. I think he said he was. I have no idea of any of the outcome. And I think there is, well, first of all, you're angry, you're upset, and you need to come and say something. I get it. You got to come out and call these people out. You got to let other people know what this person did. But then there comes to a point where nothing will be solved. And then you got to either you want to continue what you're doing, and that's fine, or you want to go, nothing's going to be solved. This troll tennis is never ending, and what am I going to do? Am I going to continue doing what I'm doing, wasting my time? If you feel you're wasting your time, I did. I felt I was wasting my time, looking back, especially. Or do I want to continue the reverse trolling?
Yeah, I guess some of these guys have been hit harder than I don't know what happened with you, Lost. But I know some of these guys have had family members attacked and people telling their
It was
subs
pretty
to
much the
attack
same
their
thing. I got doxxed,
doc.
and my family got attacked.
Yeah.
It's very similar. I mean, listen, I don't know as DNC the example. I don't know all the specifics of it, but I know he got doxxed, and I know his family got kind of attacked, like my wife got attacked. So I get it. I'm here to tell you I understand it. You need to realize after amount of time, it's just it's nothing's going to get solved.
No, well, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, at the moment, it seems to be
Especially now, if
word.
both people were in the same country, you could probably solve things. But the problem is, one person's in one country, another person's in another country, and there's nothing. Ultimately, there's not too much you can do about it. I mean, you can report things to authorities, and he probably has done that, from my understanding. And then, what else can you do? I mean, yeah, you can continue to make videos like he does, which I understand from his view. I get it, but at the same time, it's like when am I going to be the better person here? Because obviously the other person is a piece of shit. I mean, there's no denying how terrible this other guy is, and out of his mind, and all the other things you can think of. I mean, I feel like sometimes the guys are stooping to their level. I know
Thing
not
is,
always, but
hang on, Lost. If everyone had your point of view, which isn't, it's I agree with what you're saying, and it's not a bad stance to take. But if everyone has that, then you get some of these guys who will just run amok and still do what they're doing, keep attacking the people that they're, like, well, not attack, but using them up and rorting people for fucking, money and
like yeah, exactly. Like I know one guy is still, even though he's not in the Philippines anymore, he's still out running his scam. He's still doing his mischief. He's just not doing it in the community. Now, all I can talk about right now is the community. We can only do what is involved in our community. Like I would say, there's enough information between DNC and his arch nemesis. Not try to say his name. There's enough information out there where all he would have to do is step back, and there's nothing more that really he needs to do. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I'd have to, if DNC's there, I think he said he was, he would have to give the information out. I'm just speculating at that point.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can totally understand DNC and some of these other guys like Popeye with what's happened in the past because it did cross a line. It, it got out of control, but like I said, it'd be
Is,
easy
is
to just
Popeye in the
ignore this.
is Popeye in the chat?
Yeah, yeah.
Invite him in. I would like to. Because I don't know the whole story with Popeye. Popeye, like I know Popeye's name. For example, I saw zero on Popeye's doxing, but just because Popeye's ran a while, like I know his name and I kind of know where. I don't know his like actual physical address, but I know the city he lives in because he had talked about it. For example, I mean I
Yeah.
happen to remember those things. Now I
I mean,
don't
I've seen
know.
that. I'll never use his real name because that's just fucking rude.
Yeah, well, he don't want to. If someone don't want to use, like some people don't care if you use a real name. He don't want to use his real name, so I personally will not use his real name just because,
No,
like
no,
me,
no,
I
I
don't.
wouldn't. It's out of
There's a bunch
respect.
of guys. There's a bunch of guys probably right here in the chat who actually know my real name,
I
but
do.
they have been respectful and they've been respectful and have not used my name. So
No, and that's not. I mean, you go under the name Lost and Nomad. That's the name I'll use, mate.
yeah,
Same with Popeyes. I'm not about to, go out and use his real name. I mean, that would be disrespectful to him, and you know, the doxing thing goes too far, and it is
yeah.
wrong.
So the
But I can
point was the
understand.
doxing. Yeah, the point with the doxing, what Popeye is, and like I said, I'm not sure the full extent of the doxing that happened to Popeye. Like I know it was more than just his name out there, but Popeye had his name out. It'd be like, hey, Popeye, there he is. So let me ask. Well, first of all, let me bring this up. If it was just your name, if they only put your name out there and like where you lived, then to me that's not necessarily doxing because you already had the information out there. Now, if they took it a step further and gave physical address, children's names, that kind of stuff, then obviously that's way too far, and nobody will disagree with that. Go ahead.
All right, this is the first thing they do. They put your name out there first. Okay, that's the warning. Then if you just keep talking, then they put your physical address out there. And then they try and put other shit up there. They really dig in. This is how they move. This is how they do. So when you see somebody's uh, full name being used on another vlog, and that's actually against YouTube guidelines. It's under the privacy guidelines. You can get a strike for that. Plain and simple. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to stop with the Popeye shorts on a certain person. I'm going to pound him into the fucking ground. That's it.
Oh,
Actually,
I know you're
DK,
gonna do that. Like I said, I don't, Popeye, I don't have a problem with you doing that. You
BK, I don't know. Hang on, I don't know where you're coming from, BK. I've never heard Popeye. I mean, I might be wrong here, but I don't think I've heard him dox anybody.
You know what kills me about this guy, BK? Let me tell you a little something about him. Okay? He fucking gets on the internet, fucking blazes up. I've never doxed anybody. Okay? Oh, there's been a few people I want to dox. I could have doxed. Never done it. Fucking show me the proof. You can't. All right?
Yeah.
This motherfucker jumps in a chat and says I've had sex with my daughters. Okay?
That's fucking pathetic.
He's permanently banned from my fucking channel. As far as I'm concerned, he's a POS. And he says all kinds of little shitty things. And I've actually stuck up for him when Ren fucked him over. Even after he said that. Because it was wrong what Ren did to him. This guy has no shame, no sensibility. Okay? And you know what? It leads right back to this. This is your chat room. It's your chat, live chat. If you want him in there, he's in there. No skin off my ass. But I'll tell you, every time he opens his fucking pie hole, I'll tell you what he's all about. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I won't let people fucking forget it. And he could deny it all he wants.
Who was it that said that about your daughter?
BK.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Serious?
Serious as heart attack. I got the fucking screenshot.
Fuck's sake, BK, that's fucking low, man, to say shit like that, man. I mean, I don't know if you even belong in this chat saying shit like that, honestly. And if you're going to make fucking, comments like you did before, like I said, I've never seen Popeye dox anyone, so Ed, I don't know if you would have given him opportunity to say, but that's what's done's done, Ed. I'm not going to fucking. He pissed you off. He pissed me off when I didn't know that he was the person that actually said that. So, and that's
Sure.
fucking dead
Said
wrong.
that when he was live in the shill chat. He did that last year.
Hang on, no, Ed. Let him say he's denying it.
Yeah, I told you he was going to deny it. And the only thing I do is I make fun of these bad boys. And all my work is up on my channel. I don't delete my work. Right? I'm not like some of these other bloggers around here. I don't delete my shit.
Hang
I
on,
let it stand.
I just unhid you, BK. You got the fucking give you the right of reply now, but fucking if you said that, man, fucking you need to wear it and fucking. And if Popeye's got the screenshot and can show fucking.
There you go, Mr. Tux. Yes, he did. I remember that. There you go. Right.
You got
Now,
soundproof from it? What do you mean soundproof from it? What the hell does that mean, BK? Now you got Popeye making the accusation, BK. You got Mr. Tux who
Well,
said he heard that.
if Popeye is so inclined, I guess he would make a short on it. I mean, if you said
no,
something,
you
I
think
have
I'm
no
going to make
idea.
a short on that?
No, I'm just
Really?
saying if
No,
you wanted
no.
to. No, that's not how I mean it.
Okay.
If you wanted to prove it, it wouldn't be a stretch to make it happen.
I've already proved it. Right? There's
Well,
plenty
I
of
have no
people
idea.
in the chat that know and seen it. I don't need to make a short and put that filthy fucking comment he made in the live chat on the Shill Show. I don't need to do a short and put that up there. When you do something like that, people take it out of context. Right?
BK, I'd never fucking never fucking thought you would have fucking stooped to fucking saying something like that. I mean, that's fucking pretty shameful, man, if that's the case. And I've got no reason to
I
fucking.
personally, I have no idea about it. Was it? Listen, people get pissed, they retaliate in a
But not
very
like that.
strange manner sometimes. But did it? Well, I know you're not. Likewise, not myself. I know plenty of other people are. Was it like a retaliation for something? Is my question to BK.
Oh,
I don't
this
Like,
think
did
it
you
was
get?
matters. I
this
don't
all
think it should
started.
matter.
Let me back you up. This all started with two other individuals who first come out and started doxing people last year and said call their families, harass their children, harass their moms and dads, email them. All right. And he was in the chat. He was having a good old fucking time jumping right on that fucking train with a whole bunch of others. Say, I don't forget so fucking easy, BK. I'm not going to
Papa,
let you off the hook.
hey, nor should you. But let me ask you a question because now I believe you when you said you haven't doxed anybody. Okay, you were on the channel. I don't even have to say the channel, and I was on the little Facebook thing for a while where the doxing was going out. You were on the channel when it was all happening. I don't ever remember you saying this is a terrible thing. when these other people were getting doxxed.
Oh,
Um,
me saying it? Oh, you
yeah.
you know what? You know what I got to say to that after they did it to me and they all start flinging it at each other? I'm not going to say a fucking word. Hey, because you know what? Let's see. There's one, two, three. There's about four channels out there still fucking doing it. And you know what? I don't I don't condone it, but I ain't gonna say a fucking word. I'm gonna let them all learn their lessons. Hey?
But you understand my point? You were like right now, if all three of us were doxing other people right now, okay? Let's say you and Thunder right now are just doxing everybody, okay? And I'm over here going la di di la di da. I'm not gonna say nothing. And then make comments on outside of maybe even on YouTube or outside of YouTube about it. Would you think I should be maybe slightly guilty in the process?
No, now you're talking about by guilt by association, for Christ's sake.
I'm talking about literal. Now, obviously, you just said you condone it, but I'm talking about the time
I
when
said
other
I
people were.
don't condone it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I said it back. Excuse me.
Please,
Um,
see, this is the type of conversation, these fucking hypotheticals, that's what gets people making rumors, man. The fact
I'm trying
is,
to get you.
I
All right, well,
don't
all right.
condone it.
I'll just say it like this, okay? Then, when other people were getting doxxed on the shows that you were involved with, I think you were guilty to a degree because you were not coming out saying this was wrong, okay?
Oh, he
That's the way
did.
I see it.
No, 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 he did.
We're talking Thunder. This was prior to you being on YouTube,
Well,
or
Okay.
maybe you just got on
why
YouTube at the
don't you
time.
take a look? Why don't you fucking take a look at my goddamn channel when I put up that shit about doxing and how it's illegal? Is that saying something?
Yeah, but that was
And I
after
put
it
that up
happened.
months and months and months ago.
Okay, did you put that up after the fact that other people were getting doxxed by the
I
people you
put
were
that
hanging out
up
with?
right after I got doxed.
Okay, exactly. The doxing, what I'm talking about, was happening before you got doxed.
I
You were
didn't
on a
notice it.
channel.
The when I got wind of doxing is when it happened to me. Okay, when it happened to me.
All right, listen. I'm not going to listen. I know what I heard. Okay, you can argue it. That's fine. I know for a fact you were on a channel when other people were getting doxed, and never
What
heard you
channel?
say anything.
What channel?
RRKB, RRR,
When
and KB.
okay, other people were getting doxxed. Was I doing the doxing? Am I
Um,
responsible? Do I
listen,
have
listen,
to? Do I have
Popeye. I'm
to?
going to give
I'm
you.
asking questions here. Am I responsible? Do I have? Can I stop them? Fucking no. Could I stop Aloe for what he fucking said? No. I'm not guilty of any of that fucking shit because I was there
I
and didn't say anything.
and I.
That is
No, 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 no,
foolish.
no. All right, my turn. I 100% agree with what you said, but when I was listening to it, okay, and they're doing it, and you're laughing and giggling about it and having a good time about it, you seemed guilty. Can you understand my view? Now afterwards, I realized you were not part of it, okay? But during the time it was happening, it seemed like you were very much a part of what was happening.
Negative, Ghost Rider. You're not going to
Negative
attach that
now,
shit.
but are you going to
No,
completely ignore
can
the
I
situation
finish
of,
a sentence?
or are you going to
You're
answer a
not going to
question?
attach my name to fucking doxing. No fucking way. Don't even try it.
And all right, first of all, are you listening to me? I said I do not believe you doxed anybody. I do not believe you're guilty of it at all. I'm saying when it happened, you were
So
there,
what does
and to
that
me,
fucking have to do with it? If I was on that show,
uh, 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 Pop, I don't know if you're not hearing me or you don't want to hear me.
eh? All I hear you saying, because I was on that show, and now you're saying I was
No, all you
giggling.
want to hear was you were on that show. I'm
Okay,
telling you from my view until I learned about it is what I want you to understand. Sometimes you are perceived guilty until proven innocent or whatever, or not guilty, I should say. Guilty or not guilty.
yeah, get it right, will you?
At the time, I thought you were guilty of it. I know better now, but when it was happening, I thought you were a part of all of it, okay?
Well, I wasn't.
And during that time, you did not come out and say anything about it until you got doxxed is when you decided to say something negative about doxing. Correct or not correct?
Incorrect. Because
All
the
right, well,
doxing started when those assholes on the shill started it
n-
all. That
no,
was the
Popeye. I'm
beginning
sorry,
of
that
it.
is incorrect. You were incorrect
What's
in
the
that.
first doxing
First of all,
incident
the,
that
the,
you
the
know of?
doxing was of the video freedom guy. That was the first technical doxing that I can recall within
We
the
weren't
community.
even doing video freedom on RRR.
You,
I didn't even
oh
know
really?
about that shit. I'm
Okay, well,
pretty
first
damn
of all,
sure.
all right, Popeye. You know what? If you're not going to let me talk and give you the timeline, then I'll just shut up. But if you want me to give you the timeline, I can give you the timeline because I was around a little bit longer than you. All right. Yes, you were not part of the initial doxing of video freedom. Okay. Other people got doxed after that, and a couple people got doxed while you were on RRR before you got doxed and before the shill did the doxing. That's fact. That's the timeline. I don't know if anybody was here long enough in the chat that can back me up on that one, but I promise you that's the way it happened.
Okay,
So
so
what I'm trying,
please
so
tell
what
me,
I'm
what
trying to
does
tell.
this have to do with me that other people were doxing and I was on that show? What
Okay,
is your fucking point?
all right. You seem to not understand my point, or maybe I'm not conveying it properly. You were involved with people doing doxing.
So
Okay,
does that make me guilty?
no, but
Then why are you bringing it up?
you have morons that thought you were a part of it, as I did myself. So I can be considered one of the morons because I thought you were a part of it. Okay? You understand what I'm saying here?
Shit,
So,
Lost, to be fair, I mean, I've seen shit that's fucking totally disgusting being said lately, and I've seen Popeye actually fucking take to those fucking comments. So,
I agree, Popeye. Listen, Popeye, you're not guilty of the doxing. I'm not saying you're guilty of it. I just want you to understand where people on the outside can have it mistaken, as I did. Okay?
Barry, you're the last person to talk about denying everything.
That's the only point I was trying to make, Popeye. I'm not trying to make you guilty of it in no way, shape, or form. I have said that. I just want you to understand before you got there, things were happening on that channel. You got lumped into it, guilt by association. But let me tell you what, if, like I said, if Thunder and I were sitting here bashing, I don't know, some other guy's wife, all right, and you're giggling about oh, you guys are so funny, but you never said, hey guys, don't bash wives. It makes you look bad. You understand what I'm saying?
This is my stance right now, okay? And I gotta warn you all. You throw it at me, I'm gonna throw it right fucking back. Twice as fucking hard.
And that's fair enough, man.
Okay? And if you don't like it, tough shit. Okay? Because I didn't throw it first. I mean, if you couldn't take my commentary, if you couldn't take my Popeye shorts, I'm not the one out there on video doing stupid things. Right? I'm not the one out there on video making an ass out of myself. I'm not the one out there on video making all expats look like assholes. Right?
Barry,
Simple as that.
I'm not sure what you're fucking talking about, Barry, because I've never seen fucking Popeye do that. So, why would he admit to doing something he hasn't done?
Dude, and I stuck up for you last night, Barry. Yeah, I actually stuck up for you.
Jesus. I'm not sure I would do that anymore, Popeye.
I had no choice because it was wrong what was said. All right. Even if I don't like a guy and they say something wrong about him and I catch it, dude, no, you have to back off that fucking comment. All right. You just have to. You really do.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't think I've ever, well, haven't ever seen you dox anyone, and I've seen comments being made that you've actually fucking taken to, and I mean the guys that you do a show with. So, I mean, if they're going to accuse you or anything, at least fucking, make it a factual fucking.
And hey, shit, I stuck up for Barry with the Popeye short, with this motherfucker coming out telling Barry to go die. All right? Jesus Christ, I have my disagreement with fucking Barry. I don't want to see the guy fucking die. And I said that last night also on the goddamn Quentin Ballou show.
Sorry, guys, just got an email about some of this shit. So, BK, obviously, I got someone here that I trust messaging me saying you did say things. I don't know exactly what you did say, but you did fucking say shit about his daughter, man. Which, man, I don't know. Fucking, I don't know if I want you in this chat, BK. If you're going to be doing that sort of shit, that's just not on, man. I mean, if you got problems with Popeye, attack him. But oh, Larry, what the hell?
Never said that, dude. Hey, here we go.
Yeah, don't come and take the high road, Larry. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe gonna. Yeah, David, and and I just had a message saying that shit was said. They don't know exactly what was said, but and I'm not sure I want someone in here that's fucking said that kind of shit. I mean, none of us are angels, and I know Popeye is not an angel, but fucking, if you're gonna accuse him of anything, fucking make sure it's something he's actually done. Don't just make shit up. Yeah, Trusty, there is that, but again, don't accuse him of shit he hasn't done. And like I said, I've seen him on a show take to comments that are being made that well, maybe he is a Bible thumper, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think you can use that against him. BK, so you come back with another name, Jesus.
Lost, you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know what recently happened on the Pretty Pony, right?
I probably don't.
Where Aloe said some really mega heinous things.
I heard he said mega heinous things, but I did not hear the mega heinous things.
Well, we don't need to repeat them here, but they were
that's fine.
beyond the pale. Okay. And I was on that show. All right. So I said, your interest is not my interest as long as your interests don't conflict with mine. Basically denounced him, told him I'm no part of that kind of shit. All right. But yet, after the show was over, I was guilty by association of all the comments. I saw all the comments. They were like,
yeah, Popeye, I don't disagree. I know people get lumped in with the guilt of association.
And I understand you're talking that I was lumped in with that. Okay. But I just want to make it clear cut. All right, I'm a pretty black and white guy. I want to make it clear cut.
You're of mixed ethnicity.
I just wanted to make it clear cut that I don't endorse that shit. Never had, never will.
No,
All right.
Popeye. Listen, I know you don't, but I just wanted you to understand. And even a guy like me, who,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the smartest guy in the world, but honestly, at the time, I thought you were very guilty of doing it. I
Well,
truly did. Okay.
that's the impression
Uh,
you got. People
yeah.
get different impressions when they listen to the show.
Yeah,
You know.
listen, exactly, and like I'm just saying at the time, what you do, or anybody should do, if you think someone's guilty, then you try to find out if they truly are or are not. You know what I
Right.
mean? You kept quiet about it. It's not like you didn't condone or uncondone. You know what I mean? You were just like, meh. You were there,
But
but
you
like I
can't,
said,
you can't just lump him in with that though, because he was there when something is said.
So let me ask you this question, Popeye. So Aloe said some pretty terrible things. Is it so terrible to you? Do you still continue to associate with Aloe?
Hang on, Barry, you're a dick. Don't bother timing him out. I would have just fucking got rid of him. I got no time for that fucking uneducated idiot in here. Seriously. Go find a
Okay.
wall to argue with, Barry, because that's about the only thing you can argue with. Maybe he will go away. He's like venereal disease. I don't think he'll ever go away.
And I will tell you this, Lost. I have had a private chat with Aloe, and I told him that shit can't happen on the show again. And he explained to me why he did it, and I told him that's no excuse. All right. And it can't happen again. I told him you're smarter than that. You know, I mean, and you can't do that shit. And he explained it away as he wanted to shock everybody to hold their attention. I said, dude, you could have taken it down about 4 notches to do that. All right. And I told him straight, I don't condone that shit. Okay. So, when I get like here, I go on a live stream with Thunder. I talk with Thunder. I've talked with him private, I think, once. Is that not correct?
Yep.
Okay. Uh, that does not mean that I associate with him. Okay. This is not what I call associating. If I want to associate with Thunder, I would be talking to him every day. I would be hanging out with him. I would be drinking beers with him in the physical sense. Okay? And he does come on the show. It's not my show. I don't consider that an association. I just really don't. And see, that's where you're touching on saying, do you still talk to him?
No,
Do
hey,
you?
hold on, hey, Popeye. I'm sorry, I lost connection and heard nothing.
Oh God, I don't want to run through it
No,
again.
just give me the quick cliff notes.
I believe, like, I just told Thunder. I said I've only talked to Thunder private once, and I come on the show here, and I don't consider that an association.
Yeah, of course not.
Okay. And I don't consider my virtual world with you or Aloe or anybody else in the virtual world here an association. To me, an association is when you physically hang out with somebody, you have day-to-day contact. Okay.
I won't disagree. I won't disagree with that.
Okay. I don't have that with Aloe.
Yeah, of course not. No. Listen, I know your only interaction. I mean, I know y'all have the Discord thing. If y'all still have that, I mean, I know there's other communication besides just the YouTube stuff, for example. But so I will say he did something that I found that I completely disagree with, and that's one of the reasons why I quit watching the Triple R at the time. I just had to distance myself from something I thought he did. When I'm not even going to say it here, it's not worth bringing it up. But when someone does something I think is just absolutely wrong, I pretty much don't want to have nothing to do with that person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he says, but the way you're saying it and knowing kind of how you are, I feel like you would like I can't be around this person anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even want to hang out with them on a chat.
I will be quite honest with you. All right. There are people in the blogging community that I just tolerate. You'll see me on a show with them, but I just tolerate them to a certain extent. I and it's when I do that doesn't mean I'm accepting of them. Right? Because I want to hear what they have to say, what they're fucking doing next. Right? I really do. And sometimes I like to see how people tick. And some of
I
them,
will I will
they
not
don't.
disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah, some of them don't TikTok right. Okay, you know that, I know it. And some of them do TikTok right. And if you actually listen to me, actually listen, the inflections in my voice and what I actually say to somebody one on a live stream, you will actually know who I tolerate and who I like.
I agree. I mean, I haven't really listened to you too much here in the past year because I wanted to distance myself from the drama related
Yeah,
stuff. You know.
that's cool. That's cool.
But what kind of the light bulb went off for me when you said he crossed the line. Obviously, we have different views on things. When someone crosses the line to me, I do my best not to associate them at all,
Mhm.
whether it be just friendly online jest or hanging out with them in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
and you know what? That is your personal preference.
yeah. And
I
well, yeah. And what I was thinking, I was like, Popeye's probably the same type of guy. Like he would, if someone crossed the line with him, I can see him just distancing himself from somebody. So that I was curious. I have no idea because I don't listen to your the pony show, whatever the hell it's called. I
yeah.
don't listen to it, so I don't know if you've been engaging with them, doing shows with them. Actually, I know you did a show with them last night, so I'll take that back. I do know you at
I
least talked
was
to them at
on.
least
I
last night.
always go on. Yeah, I always go on the Quentin show. All right. Um, I I'll just come right out and say it. I like Dave. I think he's a good dude.
Yeah,
You know.
likewise.
I just think he's a good dude. A lot of times, actually, when me and Dave do the show on Quentin on his channel, um, we actually 90% of the time get away from the drama and start talking politics, relationships, and other immediate topics that are going on in the
I
news.
um I have not. All right, listen. I have not been listening to Dave too much because every time I tend to get on there, as you know, I like Dave. As you know, I've met Dave. But I can't stand the chair Dave feud like at all. And when I pop on there, and I usually say hey for the most part, it's always that. Now I
Yeah.
probably ain't hanging out long enough to maybe hear the political discussion. Because that's what I like about Dave. Because Dave's such a smart dude, and man, I'd love for him to come over here and talk with us. You know what I mean? I know he's
Yeah.
working during the day, but I would love to see him get outside the chair. Man, I would love to see him get outside the chair so bad.
You
and
and a whole
and
bunch of other people, man. And you know what? I got to tell you a little secret too. Okay? I'm going to tell you how
what ain't
bad.
it ain't
I, I
it ain't gonna
I'm
be a
gonna.
secret if you tell it here.
Well, it's kind of it's a Boston thing when we say that, man. Take it for that. And when the doxing was really getting hot and heavy, and you remember that little argument we had, but we hashed it out on Facebook. Yay, nay, still there?
He's still there. Might have someone
Yeah,
come in
I'm
the room.
muted. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. But yeah.
Yeah, you remember that little argument we had on Facebook and we hashed it out? Oh, wow.
Jesus, Lost. What are you doing in the? You're in the shitter, mate. Yeah, I'm just getting messages here, and obviously, Barmer's busting a nut on his channel about myself and well, you and myself, Popeye. So, at the end of the day, I mean, guys, come on, it's Barry. He's doesn't mean jack shit to me. He can say whatever. In fact, if he talks me down, uh, I'll probably get a few kudos for it. It's not going to make me look bad anyway.
Mm-hmm. You still with us, Lost?
Yeah, sorry. I went to go hit unmute and I hit end call.
All right. So let's try this again. You remember that little argument me and you had on Facebook?
Yeah, a little talk online. Yeah.
Yeah, we hashed it out, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Shortly after that, somebody messaged me. Okay. And they said, "This is all this guy's information." And it was you. And you know what I did with all that information? I highlighted it and I deleted it. Okay. And that's it. It's gone. All right. And then I went through my Facebook. At the time, I had, let's see, over 130 friends on my Facebook. Okay. You know how many friends I got now?
30.
23.
Yeah, I wasn't too far off.
Hey, Andy, how you doing, mate? I'll put the link in for you, Andy.
And
So
I
you
got
got to be
rid
there
of,
for 5 seconds, Andy. Sorry, Popeye.
yeah, I got rid of all of them, you know, and all those that I got rid of were YouTube connected. Okay. So at that time, I didn't know who was on whose side, what the playing field was, where the battle lines were fucking drawn, any of that shit. So I said, well, goodbye. I dumped them all. I took I stripped my Facebook down to a skeleton. So so you know, so there's no sense of going to my Facebook anymore. Right? So they, with their doxing and their bullshit, they have taken Facebook away. But on the other hand, to be fair, I look at Facebook and I was kind of sick of Facebook. The only thing that's good for me now is shooting a message to one or two people. That's it. That's it. Facebook invades your privacy. YouTubers use it to try and get your real name, information, fabricate stories about you. And would you agree with that, Lost?
Oh yeah, for sure. But even though it has minorly happened to me, I would say the people in the drama stuff have it happen to them more so than a lot of us regular Joes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And see, a lot of these guys use guilty by association. Okay, you're on the show. I'm going to dox you too. I'm going to fucking peek into your life. I mean, these motherfuckers do some Jerry Springer shit. Right? So now I'm just of the mindset where they all piss me off that I'm going to start hurling balls of flaming shit at all of them every time
Yeah,
they
and
open their fucking
I'm going to
suck.
take the exact opposite approach you do, and I understand your approach, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, don't get me wrong. I am going to do the opposite. I'm going to ignore, 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 and then I'm going to ignore you some more. Okay, until you just are not even a thought in my memory, or as little as possible, unless someone happens to bring up that person's name. You know what I mean?
Now, check this out. I took your approach with one certain vlogger, and I took it for 1, 2, 3, close to 4 months. And I told people, don't even speak his fucking name on my channel. Okay? Don't even talk about him in the live chat. Please respect my wishes. And lo and behold, they did. They respected my wishes. But this motherfucker would not shut up. It was Popeye this, Popeye for 4 fucking months. Right? And then after I saw that Shield show on the 4th of July weekend, I said, you know what? I can't keep my mouth shut any longer. Now, if I kept my mouth shut about you for 4 or 5 months and totally forgot you, would you keep bringing me up?
Well, I personally wouldn't, but we're talking about a different breed of people here.
That's right. So then my final question is, what good did the ignoring get me?
No, well, that's like I was saying earlier. I don't know if you were listening in the chat at the time. It takes time. It's not like an immediate process.
Dude, I think
but
4 or 5 months is plenty
I don't
of
think
time.
that's. I think that's a short time, and that don't mean crap, to be honest. In my
Really?
personal assessment of it.
Really?
Um,
So this
I
guy
would
could
say
go
you
for
need.
years?
He might go for. I would say if you gave it a year, honestly, Popeye, I think a year for someone like him. Other people would be less, but someone like that,
So
you need a minimum. You need a minimum of a year. You got to evaluate your trolls. Maybe like a 1 to 10. Okay,
Mhm.
a 9 or 10 maybe.
Yeah. Well, dude, if I got to listen to somebody trash talk my ass for a fucking year,
But
and
hold on. But let me. But the thing is, you didn't bring up him, but you didn't ignore him because you still knew he was talking about you. So obviously you were sneaking to the channel, or you had the two-faced, more not two-faced, the tattletale guys going, "Hey,
oh no, all
Popeye,
you
blah
all
blah."
you got to do is go to these other channels that you actually like, all right, and then you go to these other channels, and he pops in there and fucking leaves a comment, fuck you, Popeye. You did this, you did that. I'm not even
Oh yeah,
talking
well
about.
that's why I
I'm
say
not
it.
even. I'm not even talking about fucking people who message me and say he said this about you, he said that about you.
Oh
And
yeah,
when
well
I
I
get
know
those,
that's just. Oh yeah,
when
that's
I
just
get
one of the
those,
avenues. I know that happens because it
yeah,
happens with me too. But
and when
no,
I
I
get
don't
those,
agree. Like I was saying earlier, it also, I mean, it can start with a channel, but it also has to be a little bit of a communal thing.
yeah, and when I
You
get
know,
those, when I get those messages, I just say, so what? So fucking what? And I say, let them fucking chat.
I've said thanks Tattletale to a bunch of guys, and I'm not getting too many of those messages anymore when someone talks about me on another channel.
So I did him the service of just not talking about him anymore. But yet, dude, come on. It's not that big of a war that it's going to take at least a year for him to shut up about me. I mean, after 60 days, he hears nothing out of me. Fuck. Dude, after 2 weeks, if you said nothing about me, I'd gladly walk away from you. That's fucking normal time. Okay.
Yeah, some people don't like to let things go. I mean, like I said, I heard what Barry was saying the other night on one of his shows. I could have easily have done a live stream to jump back at him, but what's the point, really? He's not really worth my time. Obviously he's got his supporters over there. Let them stay there. But I'm kind of surprised at and very disappointed is in what BK mentioning someone's family member like that. Considering that he'd be the first person to complain about people doing that.
Shit, yeah. I even stuck up for that motherfucker. Did a fucking Popeye short for him, you know, because he got fucking screwed over by another fucking blogger. I actually felt fucking bad for him, man. And that was after the fact of what he did. Right?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Andy?
Cooey!
Yeah,
How you
continue.
doing, Cubba?
Yeah, you know, always try to be good enough. It's a bit early in the morning. I just woke up.
Just woke up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about.
Got the Sandman in your eyes?
I'm not sure what you mean when you say something sometimes. From what I know of the Sandman, I'll say yeah.
There you go. All right. Nothing derogatory, Andy. I like
I
you,
know.
man.
I didn't expect anything derogatory from you.
I like you, Andy. You make me laugh. You're fun to hang with.
Yeah,
I like you too, boy.
WAE, maybe has been that long, but you can't say that he hasn't brought that on himself. So,
Thunder.
yeah.
Fucking should have just fucking listened to my instincts and made my own fucking microcard. Would have been a fuckload easier than using doing the official thing and buying one and fucking activating shit. Now they tell me I won't have a phone for 5 more fucking days.
Well, you're not a big phone user anyway, so.
Oh no, but that's not the point. I do actually need to use it.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, fucking useless mom bastards. Just thought I'd let you know anyhow. 5 days, another 5 days.
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking good for fuck all.
Yeah, well, a couple of days there, I thought about jumping over to give you a visit, but never know when you're fucking awake or sleeping or.
I've been actually up and out and about lately. You know, full of energy, man. Full of energy. It's fantastic. Although, got pretty rough last night. For a while, the winter.
Yeah, tell me about it. Wind picked up here, but they said hail, but never seen any. So
I just hail now. 7 days, supposed to be rain for the next 7 days.
Oh, fucking great.
Shit, we got a low coming up the west coast of Florida, and I think it's heading towards Louisiana. So I think Dick Insider is going to get a little bit of excitement.
Well, I'm not so sure, guys, why. I mean, yeah, I actually, he was hidden, BK was hidden, and I did unhide him here to let him have his say. How you doing, Johnny Evans? He had more than enough time to address what was being said to him, but I guess I was disappointed because at the end of the day, even though he denied saying those exact words, he did say that he did mention that someone's daughter. So to me, that's wrong.
that is it is very despicable. But then listen, to a degree, we've all been in the rage mode where you go and say something that you necessarily weren't even planning.
But I rage against the person. I don't.
But if you got to come out, well, first of all, you got to own up to it. Say, hey, I fucked up. I said something despicable. Apologize to that person, and then things majority of the time can move forward with that. And I don't. I'm pretty sure those things didn't happen, and it sound like those things happened.
I agree with you with the rage mode, but when he said it, there was no rage against me. He just
that's
said
why I was
it
asking that's why I was asking that's why I was asking the question, like what happened right before he had said it.
He was just jumping on the joy train, being mean.
Yeah, well, I wasn't there. I'll just take your word for it. And but yeah, I mean, listen, I've been, well, we've all been the guy who said something like, "Damn it, I should not have said that," but then you apologize for it, and the person can obviously forgive you or not forgive you, but as long as you take the steps to try to at least make it right, then you can move on. But those steps got to be taken. So
Yeah, Johnny, I've been there and seen it and had to put up with it myself, so I know what he can be like. But like I said, it's disappointing to think that he would say that shit. Yeah, that's true, Tony. There is very few rules here. But one of those rules is like saying what was said to Popeye. I mean, I don't care if you're a friend of mine. I'm never going to fucking agree with that shit. Never.
and first, I want to bring up something. I was talking to the homeowner over here. I couldn't comment on it, but like Popeye, you said you stuck up for Bama. Actually, you didn't stick up for Bama. You pointed out something that wasn't right. You pointed something that wasn't, proper, correct, moral, however you want to say it. You weren't sticking up for the guy. You were pointing out some other guy was being a douchebag.
Yeah, that too. But actually, was being against use the guy. I mean, look, I may not like the guy. I may not like what he does, but I will tell you this: if you say something that's untrue about him, I will stick up for him. Say no, 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 don't be doing that, okay? Because A, it's wrong, and B, you're going to give him the opportunity to come back with a fabricated story.
Guys, I just got to mute myself for a minute and take the dog out. It's been a pain in the ass.
Gotta go, pay.
Yeah, and as for I've seen that I haven't watched Bama's stream. I just seen that he said the lies continue. I'm not sure what lies were said here about him, so maybe
Dude, I
he's
ain't saying nothing bad about him. I actually told him I am stopping all sensations. Okay?
yeah.
And I said I was concentrating on one fucking dude. I went into his live chat, said that to him. So,
Yeah, welcome, Johnny Evans. Anyway, guys, I'll be back in a few.
All right.
Keep them awake, Andy.
Yeah, I feel like it's daytime for them. I'm pretty sure they're fucking right. Are you right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking cool. Hey, that's what I'd say, poor boy. I seen your thing, and I've seen you put my name there.
Did you?
Yeah, I seen it.
Okay.
I'd upload them down if I knew what I was fucking doing, but I don't, so I haven't. But
Did you like the Popeye short?
yeah. No, I mean, no, I usually watch them. I usually watch them all the time. Not that I fucking know what's going on half the time, but I just, I sometimes see, and I've learnt new things, and it's, I'm always into learning, so, but yeah, no, howdy, Tony. I thought you'd went to bed to fucking see you still here, Cobber. But again, freaking, I'm the fair sale. You don't have to put Andy if you want to put my channel name.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you would have fucking picked that up by now. Being such a fucking aware kind of guy.
Andy, that is your channel name, right?
No?
No, what is?
The fair sale.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. That's what I would let you know,
Oh, okay, because when I come on here, all I see is Andy.
Yeah, see, I joined Facebook way back when.
Uh-huh.
Not Facebook, sorry. Fucking YouTube way back when.
Uh-huh.
I went, I kind of thought 420, the 20th of April, fucking 2007. So fucking, but I joined, well, what's it called the other day, maybe fucking 4 months ago. So, Google, what is it? Google Hangouts or fucking, that's what I use. So I don't know, so I kind of got fucking, so that's got Andy, but my account is something different. It's good in a way because you can sneak about, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
before and no can't see, no can't those who have used it. It's kind of good. I just thought I'd let you know though, just because I know,
Okay.
Again.
Yeah. But a lot of my people on my channel know who Andy is.
All right. Oh, stick
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah, they know who you are, Andy.
Oh, right.
They come and listen to you here. They enjoy listening to you.
Okay.
You know? And so when I put Andy up there, they know I'm talking about a pretty good Aussie guy.
Oh, okay. No worries then. Like I said, I just thought, I just thought I would make you aware. That's all. That's all. No,
And I appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
So, yeah. So how you been now? I'm sure Mike lost his mood himself again. I'm not sure what he fucking thinks of me at the moment.
Oh, good, Copper. How you been?
Oh, you know, asleep. I would say,
Getting some shut eye.
yeah, no, pretty. Yeah, it was cold and wet last night. I couldn't go and do anything. I could, but you know, it was cold and wet. So I stayed. Sorry, I'm not really fucking. You know what I mean? Like I said, honestly, I've been awake for about. Well, must be like 20 minutes now. You know what I mean? And once upon a time, I wake up being a fucking evil motherfucker, but these days I'm not an evil motherfucker. When I wake up, that is. I'm a bit more introspective these days.
Well, take it slow, bro.
Man, we're all trying out of this.
Yeah. As you say in your country, no worries, mate.
Absolutely. And I think everyone needs to say that more. I reckon that's why I reckon that, you know, well, we're all pretty, well, most of us are pretty mellow ears because we do say no worries a lot.
Hey, Andy, how's the no butter life going?
Fantastic. That's what I'm saying. I'm just, yeah.
Well, good news. Good news.
Whole new fucking world.
That's
Whole
good.
new world. Fucking be 5 weeks this Saturday. Have you whiskey? No, I don't drink it all, cover. Not at all.
I don't just.
I did once upon a time, but now I'd never drink. I don't feel I'd ever drink again. It's not my thing.
Oh,
And-
at least you sound better, Andy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the old man came in today. You reckon I'll fucking look better and sound better? Fucking. Although it just turned out, I wonder where he'd been for 2 weeks. Turned out he wasn't talking to me. I'd upset him. Imagine that.
Well, there you go. I hope he at least told you what upset him.
Oh, yeah. I knew what upset him. See? We had this disagreement about something that happened. Oh, hang on. When did that happen? About 30 years ago.
Jesus.
No. Well, we had different ideas. He said this happened, and I said this happened.
Yeah.
So, you know, but he couldn't remember what he did last. He couldn't remember that he bought me a phone last year, but he could remember what happened 30 years ago. So you judge that for yourself. You know?
Look, Andy, he's getting older, mate. And
Well, that's what I told him. There's no biggie, and we should just fucking get over it. You know what I mean? He bought me soup. He came around to bring me soup because he likes to bring me soup, man.
probably best to just, let things like that ride, mate.
Oh yeah. But at the time, I wasn't. You know, I didn't think he was going to get so fucking aggressive. I said that maybe, because I've noticed him slipping here and there lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's right. But he seems to want to live forever. Fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking.
Well, I mean, he's still getting around. He's still reasonably healthy. Why not,
Oh yeah, no, he's fucking more than me.
I could hear your dog, man. Give that poor bastard some water.
She's just come back in. She's all right.
She's panting.
Couldn't think of a time. I'd have told
No,
him.
she's actually licking her feet. Stop it. You bitch. Jesus, Mr. Tux, get something for that. Oh, BK, that's up to him. He can like and dislike whoever he wants. That's
Dopeheads. I don't know. He seemed to like me, but he didn't know I was a dopehead.
Yeah, well, I think some of these guys want to pick and choose who they like.
Maybe it's what you say, not fucking.
I don't think it's that Popeye doesn't like dopeheads, because I mean, MJ smokes, and I don't think Popeye's got an issue with him. I think BK just wants to make an issue out of it.
Exactly. I mean, shit. Every time fucking MJ comes on here, what do I say to him? I say to him, "Hey, dude, you been blazing up today?" You know, I fuck with him a little bit. You know, that's what squids do to each other. Okay? As for marijuana, dude, I've made my position clear on this channel about marijuana and what I think of it. Okay? And who I think should be using and shouldn't be using it. Period. You know? And
if I recall properly, Popeye, you said marijuana's way too weak. You need to go straight to the hard stuff.
Oh God! Oh, they're gonna run with that. Thank you, Lost. You're so nice of you. Oh, you know, and I've seen what marijuana can do to teenagers, young children. It's not good. Not good.
Look, I think that there is an issue with kids too young smoking, and there is evidence to say that it's not good for certain, if you're under a certain age.
Well,
but to be honest with you, out of all the drugs out there, including alcohol, it's probably one of the least ones to worry about.
When I left the United States Navy in 2000, I went in for a full-blown physical. Right. The doctor told me that I was the
sex change operation was a success.
No, nothing to that effect, Lost. See, he told me I was borderline diabetic. And I said, "Doc," I said, "why am I borderline diabetic?" I says, "Look at me. I ain't got my belly hanging over my belt. I can see my dick. My BMI is perfect, body mass index." He said, "Yeah." He says, "You do a lot of drinking." I said, I couldn't lie to the son of a bitch. I said, "Yeah, I can pound him back." And he goes, "You got to stop." Okay. I said, "All right." So first year or so I was home, I stopped and never really went back to going out drinking or drinking on a regular basis. And into my second year home, I went in to the VA. I got my VA physical done. And at the end of it, I sat down with the doctor, and she was like, "Oh, your glucose is good. Your blood pressure is good. Your LDL and your bad LDL is good." And I said, "Oh, great." And she starts flipping through my record, and she says to me, "I see you were borderline diabetic. No longer. Did you give up the alcohol?" I said, "Yeah." It says, "The only time I actually ever have a drink now is like maybe Christmas, New Year's. I'll have a glass of wine or a couple of highballs." She said, "Good. Keep it that way." And so I avoided becoming type 2 diabetic by just cutting booze out. All right. And the reason why alcohol will make you diabetic, there's a lot of sugar in it.
Yep.
Right? And it'll send your glucose level through the fucking roof. And I learned something, I actually learned something.
Actually, sugar is a curse, really. I mean, they dump it in everything, and they dump it in massive loads.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been smoking for fucking over 40, well, probably at least 40 years, smoking cigarettes. My old man harassing me about it all the time too. But what got me? Sugar. I'm a fucking man, say my thing, my choice. Be happy with your consequences.
Yeah, look, I think
Well,
smoking is I mean, I'm a smoker, and I hate fuck. I wish it was easy to give up, because I'd give it up tomorrow if it was easy.
well,
Have you tried Chantix?
yeah, I know a few people have used that.
You want to be the new spokesperson?
I
Were
think someone's mentioned that before.
Were you ever a smoker, Popeye?
Yeah, quite a while ago I was. Yeah. I was 2-pack a day, man. Fucking when I joined the Navy, man, they were like, "Oh, if you don't smoke, you don't get a break." Because like 2 or 3 times during the day, the company commander would yell, "Smoke break," and if you didn't smoke, you didn't get a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you now been quit for?
Oh, I think close to 25 years.
Oh,
Damn.
shit. It's been a long time, man.
Well done. Well done.
Interesting.
I mean, I was like, when I was on my 15th year of the Navy, we had the PT test come up. Okay. And you're 35 years old, and you got to run a mile and a half under 13 minutes. Dude, I mean, you're 35 years old. They consider you like an old guy in the Navy, right? And you really kind of are. All right. You're at the twilight of your career when you're that age. And you got to run a mile and a half under 13 minutes. I hear a lot of people, "Oh, I could do that." I said, "Really? Let me see you do that." Right? And one time went out there and ran the mile and a half, and dude, it took me a long time to fucking recover. And I did it in like fucking 11:30, 12 minutes like that. And I said to myself, I got to stop smoking. I'm not going to be able to finish my naval career. I'm not fucking 22 years old again, you know? And so I did.
And Champions, I've got a few people who've stopped with Champions, actually. But as I say to most of life, personally, you gotta die of fucking something, and fucking I enjoy smoking. I know some of you might not fucking understand that, but I personally do.
Yeah, well, that's fine, Andy. If that's the way you want to go out in this world, be my guest, man. That's your choice.
Well, no, I've had a few arguments with doctors and options. They always fucking, it's always, you can predict what I'm gonna fucking die of, and when I'm gonna fucking die, then we got something to fucking talk about. Otherwise, you got nothing to talk about.
Yeah. I just know smoking's bad for you, and it was hurting my career, and so I stopped.
That's the problem. I think most smokers know it's bad for them, but it's probably one of the most addictive fucking drugs out there, really.
Oh, nicotine, yeah. They load up cigarettes with nicotine now. They spike them. Okay. And so the only thing I could tell you, Thunder, is that there's only one way out. If you want to stop smoking when you get with Crystal, sex therapy. You're busy in the sack all day and you're worn out. You're not going to want to smoke a cigarette, all right?
I don't know what to do. I mean, like, usually when I get up and have a coffee, it's one of the first things. I grab a coffee and have a smoke with coffee. It's like those guys who are drinkers, they'll tell you, the hardest thing for them is going to the pub and having a beer. And they're used to having a smoke with that beer. I think a lot of it becomes habit. A lot of it is habit, but it is addictive.
You need to create habits. See, I said, the old man's the only smoking Nazi, so if I go see him, I just don't fucking take any space with me. There's no point, because we'd have a great day, and if I have a smoke, it's fucking World War III. I don't smoke in my car. I've been driving, now my car's like 6 years old, still never smoked in it. Worked in a fucking area where one allowed to smoke on the fucking property. When I was working at SA Health, fucking, and basically, last 2 times I was in hospital, 21 days total, never smoked while I was there. It's all fucking self-control.
That's true. It is.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of choices, especially, you know, when I smoked Rollies first day. And the choice is I get the tobacco out, that's a choice. I roll that tobacco, another choice. Put it in my mouth, another choice. Light it up, another choice. You know, lots of choices, you know? But I just fucking, like I said, for me, it's the only fucking vice I've got fucking left too these days. Jesus.
Well, see, what you just explained there, Thunder, is what I call triggers. Have a cup of coffee. That triggers you to have a cigarette. Right? Have a beer.
Yep.
Triggers you to have a cigarette. Take away the triggers and see what happens.
Yeah, drink tea.
Jeez, if I took away coffee, man, I'd never be able to talk to anybody.
Oh,
I don't have a coffee in the morning, mate. Jesus.
But take your trigger and substitute it.
Yeah, I should do something because I'm very,
Yeah, start smoking meth.
pretty well sick.
Okay.
Oh, fucking hell, Jesus. Good on you, Lost.
Oh, if you want to stop smoking cigarettes, I suggest you start booting heroin. I mean, that would
Jesus Christ.
that would stop it right there, man.
See, I told you. Told you Popeye thought marijuana was too soft. I love when a joke comes around.
It's a dirty job, but somebody got to do it.
I wish give up that smoke dope instead of having a cigarette. Don't you know what I mean? Although, you know, that can get you pretty fucking stoned. But, you know, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta fucking, you know, I just gotta make this fucking try to give up a few times. It's like, how much do you fucking want this? You know, that's
exactly.
What at the end of the day. How much do you want it? If you want it fucking, you know, then you'll make that effort.
You ever take a smoking cessation class?
Huh? No.
Never heard of it.
No,
okay. Here in the States, we got what they call smoking cessation class. I actually took one when I was 35 years old when I was in the Navy. And what they do is they teach you how to stop smoking. Okay? And the first thing they tell you, the first 72 hours is the toughest. The toughest. If you could get through the first 72 hours without having a cigarette, you could stop for the rest of your life. Okay? And it takes like how many packs a day you do?
It was about 1 pack a day for me.
Okay, so you're a pack a day guy. All right. Very good. And so it's going to take 72 hours for all that nicotine to leave your system. Okay. That is the actual physical addiction. It's the nicotine. Once you get past the 72 hours, the nicotine is out of your system and it becomes a psychological thing. Okay, that's phase 2. It's easier, believe it or not, to beat the psychological addiction than it is the physical addiction.
I had 5 cigarettes today. That's it. Good self-control, baby.
So, you know, I'd hop online there, mate, take a look-see, and, you know, sit down in a class. It's a 1-day class, you know. It'll run like 4 or 5 hours. And educate yourself on how to quit if you want to quit. That'll be step 1.
And Champix is, we get Champix, baby. Champix is fucking really good thing.
I've heard of that, yeah.
We're going to make a cup of coffee, but you know, probably a cigarette then too. You going back?
Yeah, number 1 is you want to quit. That's got to be number 1 step.
Yeah, I think that's right. You've got to want it. And
do you want it?
And I think, well, I'd like to.
No, there's no you'd like to. You either do or you don't.
That's it. It's all the yes or no.
That's the problem, yeah.
Because when you say like to, that's like leaves so much ambiguity, and it leaves you a lot of doors to walk through, so you continue smoking.
Absolutely.
Right? You have to just wake up and say, "Hey, I want to quit."
Do I know that if I ever decide that I want to fucking quit, Mark, I'm quit. It's that simple. Like the weed, it's like you can't go, oh, I'm surprised you've done that. Too easy. I made the decision. That's fine. When I make the decision to do something, that's fucking that. You know?
I think the key here is wanting to. You really have to want to.
I told
It's up to you.
I told you, it's not. This is not the first time that I stopped smoking weed, but all those other times I wanted to get back to it. This time I decided that was fucking that. I can tell you at the moment I'm fucking thinking about never doing it again. You know, for a while there, I've got to be. Sorry, I've got to be.
No, well, that's
Sorry, Cobber. We just seem to fucking do that. Like that was Gemini's. What do we expect? All right, Cobber, I'll shut up and go make your coffee and let you fucking do it.
at the end of the day, Andy, if it's you feel better for it, then that's the way to go.
Yeah, no, I feel fucking great.
There you go, mate. There's a reason in itself. Then
anymore, will you? Because I'll be dancing and singing.
Now, let me tell you another thing. Let me ask you a question here, Thunder. Do you see any more children having any more children in your future?
It's a possibility.
Okay, if there's a possibility, all right, I could go with that kind of ambiguity, all right, because I understand why you say that. And so let me tell you what smoking does to the reproductive system. It will inhibit your sperm count. Okay? And that means it kills off your little men, okay? It makes it a lot more difficult to make a baby. All right? So if you want to keep that possibility, what are you, about 45, 50 years old?
Oh, yeah, just a little bit older than that, mate.
Okay. So if you still want kids in your future, put the coffin nails down, right? Because they're killing a lot more than just you, okay? Now you have another way to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Ed, you're special, Ed.
Ed, man, fucking Ed, Jesus. He must have a ball sack as big as a fucking elephant's, man.
Yeah, it saves you cash. I mean, if you've seen what the price of cigarettes are here in Australia, fucking Jesus, it's ridiculous.
Well, and there's another reason. So weigh the pros and cons out, and you might come to the conclusion that, hey, I want to quit. Okay. You can only be given the tools. If you don't use the tools, then you'll just continue.
Yeah, one of the things too, and I'm kind of, I don't disagree with this, but I guess the government's pushing this one where they're kind of making it's almost an antisocial behaviour now to smoke here.
Yeah.
It's been getting banned everywhere. They tax the shit out of it, so it costs you a fortune for it. But it is becoming an antisocial activity, really.
Yeah. Before I left the Navy, if you smoked cigarettes while you were in the Navy, dude, you were considered a pariah. All right. I mean, when I first joined the Navy, you could smoke in the berthing area. You could smoke up on deck. And now you walk on a ship. They have one little area, right, where you could smoke, and that's it. Right? You can't smoke inside the skinner of the ship. They got one little area on the outside, so if it's cold as hell, you're going to freeze your ass off if you're smoking a cigarette. If it's raining, you're going to get wet. while you're smoking a cigarette. If it's hot as hell, you're going to sweat your ass off while smoking a cigarette. The Navy actually does everything in their power to deter you from smoking cigarettes.
And I can understand that, especially being in close quarters in a ship and considering the shits that you've got on. I mean, it becomes dangerous, really, smoking on a ship. So I can understand that.
Yeah. So I just tell you what I see, what I know. It's up to you to make the decision. You know?
There are no excuses.
No, Andy, you're right. There are none. But I think the key to it all is that, wanting to. You definitely have to want to. And even then, when you want to, it's not that easy. I mean, like I said, nicotine is probably one of the most addictive substances around. Hey, Gringo Punter.
I know some real fucking hardcore smokers that gave up that I thought would never give up. So maybe it's easier than you think. Stop saying it's hard. Start saying to yourself, teaching yourself that it's easy. It's easy to give up. If I really want to do this, I can do this. It's that simple. You know, if you keep telling yourself it's hard, then you're putting those pathways into your brain saying, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. It's not fucking hard.
Oh, but Andy, it's not. It's more than a mental thing. It is a physical addiction with nicotine.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. You know me.
Well, it's not a matter of opinion. It's a fact that it is a physical addiction.
This is again. I'm trying to be positive for you, Mark.
No. I'm just trying. I understand what you're saying. It's the same as when you see heroin addicts and you see them coming off it, mate.
Perspective. Everything's perspective.
Take care, Chicken Choco. Johnny, I've seen people say that smoking calms them down when they're stressed out, but I've seen them actually do an experiment where they've given people smokes and then have to run a little wooden handle with a ring on it over a piece of wire that will buzz every time they hit the wire. Now, once they've had a smoke, that thing's buzzing all the time, so it doesn't actually calm you down. It
you want to experiment?
actually makes you worse. But people will tell you that,
I've seen an experiment a few years ago about coffee drinkers, right? And they gave people that had never had coffee before coffee. Now, those cunts were fucking jittery as all fuck. And coffee actually calmed down the people that fucking drank coffee all the time. When they first started out, they were jittery. Once they had coffee, it kind of fucking seemed to level them out. Where fucking non-coffee drinkers who first had coffee, they were just fucking fucked them. Because coffee's not real, but when they say it is and it is not, that's one of those things. Over the years, I've heard everything's fucking good for me and everything's fucking bad for me. Some of those fucking, you know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, you got to go with what's good for you, what you think's cool with you. I said, as far as I'm concerned, I want to get off the fucking, well, I don't want to get off real quick or anything, but I don't want to be hanging around to say my old man's age and losing the fucking plot completely. You know what I mean? This way is kind of, in a way, a slow kind of suicide. But then again, like I said, there's other people who, most of the cunts I know that smoke haven't died from smoking. They've all died from other things. But, but how much?
The thing is, with smoking, it can cause lead on to something different that will take you out. But
there could be more to all this than we think. I mean, I was actually looking into the other day. I was looking into blood types. Because I fucking learnt mine last time I was in hospital. And they say that RH negative people could be. Here you go, Ross. I'm only saying this. I'm not could be alien. Because it's not really a that I'm an RH negative kind of person. So, I mean, like I said, but they actually said that different blood types have different personalities. Now that seems like a fucking stretch, but there's scientists and shit looking into this thing. So who knows? I don't fucking know. I just fucking just a parrot basis. I'm repeating what I hear from other people.
WAE, if you're going to do that, what's the point of coming here in the first place? Just stay on Barry's channel. But if you're going to just come here and then go back to Barry and cry to Barry, then don't need that here, man. Now, I'm not going to have you guilty by association, but at the same time, don't come in here and then go crying to Barry. I mean, if you've got a problem with Popeye and I, don't come. Why even be here if you don't want to hear us?
Because he loves it. He loves it. People love to hate.
I guess so.
No, don't go fucking generalising on every fucker. Not all of us.
No, I understand what Moss is saying.
No, it had a lot to do with what we were saying earlier, Andy.
Yeah. Most you do that, a lot of generalising.
But yeah, that comment was directed at what I just said about WAE here. Maybe he just does love to hate. But he's definitely not blocked on this channel, that's for sure.
I just don't really base it in that fucking hate block, because I don't fucking hate anyone.
And I don't understand why they're crying about us over there. We haven't spoken about them for probably the last hour or so. So
I hate what people fucking do, but that's a different fucking thing. What some people do.
Jesus, Gringo.
I'm with I've seen Ed say you've got to go die from smoking or be hit by a bus. Demon Nana, she used to say to me all the time, and I wish I was still smoking. They told her to stop smoking, it hardened her arteries. She got taken out by a fucking car. Or the road, you know what I mean? Fucking, I said most of the people smokers get fucking done fucking by something else. And then you got people like that never smoke, like my mum dies of cancer. I know a few other people that have never smoked died of cancer. All right, might not be lung cancer, but it's still fucking cancer.
I guess something's always going to get you, but I guess what you're doing is limiting the things that will get you. I mean, cancer is one of those things that it's not. It's not just smokers that are going to get it.
But no, and then me other on the other side, grandma, all right, lived to 92, gave up smoking at 60.
Jesus.
That's a fucking good effort. So I might have smoking genes. Who fucking knows?
Smoking genes.
I'm being fucking serious, man. I mean,
Well, I'm trying to think. Is it George Burns who smoked cigars every day?
Yep. And he
smoked those big Cubans. He lived in his 90 or something.
I mean, that's one of my fucking things. I mean, I said years ago, I hope I fucking personally make it to 100 so that I can go, fuck it, you cunt, see? Do what you fucking need to do. I'm fucking still alive.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that at 100 because probably the next day you'll drop dead.
It doesn't matter. If I'm fucking 100 over, I hope I've got fucking, I'm not.
Murphy's Law will kick in.
I'm not scared of death, Mark. It's just not. It's not a fucking issue with me. But most people are scared. The only thing they know, only thing they know is life, and that's understandable. I'm not saying it's not understandable, but personally, I've had a great fucking life so far, and surely I want to go as fucking long as I can. But if it happens, it fucking happens. I ain't gonna fuck, because that's the other thing people don't do that. I ain't fuck all. When it's time to go, it's time to go, and it's fuck all you can do what you can do about it. That's simple. You're gonna change your fucking outlook on things.
The genes he's talking about, Graham, spelt with a G, but what you're saying.
You know? Oh, see, I'm starting to fucking liven up. Just started my first coffee. I'm just letting my first smoke for the day.
The thing is, no matter what, it's, death is inevitable. It's going to happen to all of us, I guess.
That's right. I mean, because, you know, do you wander through life worrying that fucking Yellowstone's going to go off? Because, you know, like I said, realistically, I said that, Yellowstone, realistically, pretty well, most of the Northern Hemisphere is probably going to be gone in a fucking instant, and we're just going to die slowly.
Well, mate, don't have to worry about that. I mean, any time you could have a fucking a meteor come through and hit the Earth and wipe out all life. So,
do you think, like, let's say the governments or scientists, whoever, figure out, say, a big giant meteorite's going to come and it could be world devastating? Do you think they would alert the general public?
Nah.
No, I don't think they would.
Not on your lifetime.
Of course, when people go crazy.
No.
You know?
What's scarier about that is up until this date, I mean, we've got all these weapons for war and that, but no one seems to be working on anything that would stop that sort of natural disaster. Because at the moment, if something did come like that, well, we'd know about it, we'd see it.
Apparently, you haven't seen Armageddon.
Yeah, right. But we have no way of actually stopping anything like that, which is crazy.
I wonder if they would try to hurl a bunch of, say, nuclear weapons out there and try to blow it up beforehand. We'd have that capability to do that.
The theory behind that, though, is all you're doing is making a heap of smaller rocks that will hit and cause just as much devastation, depending on the size of.
Depending on the size. But assuming we found it early enough, we'd have enough time to intercept it far enough, like past the moon. Well, even before then, where we could send weapons out there to actually. Whether if we could blow it up enough to do anything would be another question. But
we must be getting close.
I'm sure the US would have the technology to do that.
We must be getting close to 50. Yeah,
but again, whether that would stop it or not, I don't know. But it's kind of funny though. We're not working on anything like that.
9 more days.
Well,
9 more days.
I don't know if they would tell us. They might be working on it. I imagine there's some kind of contingency plan or something like that.
I'm not so sure there is. I've heard astrophysicists talk about it. Yeah, they wouldn't have to deny it, Graham, because they wouldn't let that news out. They would keep that very close to their chest because the havoc caused before it hit would be incredible.
Mm.
Well, these days there's so many astronomers around the world. They've got. People are finding comets and just normal everyday citizens. We ain't got nothing to do with.
We're not covering every globe, though. Still not
now they probably won't be able to find it before, say the government using, some of them giant telescope satellite things out there, but they would be able to, detect it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, they detect it for sure.
No, I'm talking about regular people, like Joe Blow is at his house with some big old giant thing. Might be able to see it beforehand. And might be, like I said, he won't be able to detect it.
Don't worry, if I see something, we'll come around and I'll be fucking lighting up again. Don't worry about that. Out the back, have a joint, watching it come. Come on down, motherfucker. Make sure you land right here. Don't want to fucking survive this shit.
Yeah, Graham, that seems to be the gone thing now. Just blame Trump, but yeah, I said it's kind of sad that we've got all these weapons for war, but we're not actually doing anything to try and avoid something like this. And I've heard astrophysicists talk about it. But we don't have a contingency plan for it, which is sad. I mean, there's enough things here now that we could take the whole planet out. Like I'm guessing the super volcano in Yellowstone is one of those things that would,
and that's not
that'd be horrendous going off.
That wouldn't be the only super volcano out there either. That's the one we know of.
That's right. But just I said, a meteor could come out of nowhere, really.
Looking at today, I mean, I was, because I knew that rain was coming on them. There's supposed to be storms and fucking heavy winds and shit. And I'm looking out there going, fuck, it looks beautiful. What the fuck? Next thing I know, hour later, I'm like, what the fuck? Where's all these dark clouds come from? You know, so we got no idea when it comes to fucking nature. We think we know so much, we know fuck all, as I've said before, and I will say again. You know, Mother Nature, she can kick us off this fucking job she likes.
I'm just reading this: wars create jobs and income. They do for some of these companies, Johnny, but at the same time, it really what it does is it puts countries in debt. You'd be surprised how much it costs to wage a war. You know, having troops overseas and using munitions. Companies might make money, but countries don't gain anything.
What's the US debt at the moment? What, like $30 trillion or something?
Well, a lot of that's been caused. Yeah, a lot of that's been caused by the fact that they've had to, have troops overseas and.
I mean, I think ours is fucking. Ours used to be like 50 billion. Now it's fucking supposed to be like fucking 300 billion. You know what I mean? Even now, personally, that's right. I mean, I don't know. Why don't we, instead of buying all those fucking jets from America, buy the jets? Let's not do it this year. Let's wait a few years. Because in the, like I said, the US, if anything, we got Pine Gap. They'll come fucking save us.
But hang on, we still got to be able to protect ourselves to a certain point, and we do have an aging population as far as
submarines, and heck,
I think Air Force is Air Force has got to be a top of your list. I mean, I'm not against submarines, especially on a place like Australia where we're just all coastline.
If Indonesia sticks a fucking army of 1 million people on Australia, it's going to be tough to fucking get out of that.
But it won't happen. The US would never even allow that to happen, mate. I mean, that's probably one of the good things about us being, so close to the US and always supporting them. I think you find that they're not about to let anyone do that to Australia.
Like I said, I've heard different things. Like I said, Pine Gap is our saving grace, possibly. But I've heard different things. I've heard different, things in the opposite to what you're saying.
I don't think that F-111s are gone, Tony. They can't even repair them anymore. They've used up all the old ones for spares. And
you'll love those Mirages were good as well.
And the FA-18s are getting old now.
We're building it. What did I read the other day about submarines? We should build our own submarines, but we're building someone else's submarines at the moment. Someone else's design. These Collins classes aren't that fucking bad. Especially with a bit of US fucking help, they've turned out real good.
Yeah, maybe Lefty. That's I guess it's a possibility. But countries like Canada and Australia, the UK, I think the US is always going to be backing us. I mean, we're the first countries to always support them and back them all the way. I don't think the US is about to leave us high and dry. I just don't see it.
More about tactics, wouldn't it? Like I said, it's Pine Gap is an integral part of their fucking defense system, and so it might be more about that than fucking, Like I said, fucking for a few years there, I wondered why we weren't the fucking 51st state. Thank fuck we're not.
Well, it wouldn't have been a bad thing, I don't think.
Come on. Be a fucking real.
No, seriously, I don't think it would have been a bad thing.
Fucking.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I fucking sometimes wonder if you were born last time you were a fucking American. Well,
I don't think it's a matter. I don't think it's a matter of owing. I think it's a matter of just loyalty. I think countries like Canada, Australia, the UK, when the US is, especially since the Gulf Wars and that, we've always been there with them. I mean, Australia's been with them since Vietnam, really.
Well, since further back, hell, they had how many troops? They had like fucking 400 troops in Australia in World War II.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that was to our benefit too, anyway. So You know what? Yeah, jet puff marshmallow. Yeah, I think we can go crazy worrying about all these issues.
Nothing to worry about. The things I can't change, there's no point worrying about anything that I can't change.
Yeah, Tony Correa. I mean, when you look at it now, like Russia's not the threat it once was. China could be, but it's not. I don't see China. Like we had the Cold War with Russia and US. I don't think that will happen with China.
It's about ideologies, though, wasn't it? More than anything.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you only got to see. I mean, how when you look at the McCarthy era, fucking hell, Jesus. They're just fucking so anti-communist. It's fucking scary. That's because it's complete opposite of capitalism. But fucking. Yeah. Fucking.
I don't know about best buddies, Lefty, but I mean, it'd be silly not to have some sort of relationship with China. Yeah, China is the biggest threat, but I don't think you're not going to see them being the threat like Russia was when we had the Cold War. I don't think it's going to get to that point. China is slowly becoming more capitalist and jumping on the markets, and although the current president, I believe, is taking things backwards a bit.
Yeah, do you watch that? What are the guys in China? The one guy's from South America, South Africa.
I watched that.
And him and the other American guy, it's like AVD. I can never remember. I watched them guys. They're talking about how this new president guy is actually going a little more of the communist route these days. They're kind of pulling back on that capitalism a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Of course, I can only go off of what they say. I don't know, but I do watch them guys, and they were talking about how they're seeing the all the communist stuff being put up again, and kind of pushing to that route.
I kind of agree with Johnny here. It's probably more going to be an economic war with China. I mean, China's got a lot of everything.
We've been in an economic war with them for a while.
But I still don't see China being a threat to the US. On the grounds that if China was to go to war with the US, it would be going to war with half the world as well.
Yeah, but see, same old thing. See, who's the nation that's most aggressive, that wanders around all the world's oceans with their fucking lots of navies? And you know what I'm talking about. But no, you guys don't fucking mention them because you're all fucking pro-America. Fucking they're the cunts that fucking they're the cunts as far as I'm concerned that are the threat. Fucking not anyone else. Because the others are just fucking, all right, China might be expanding its borders with their fucking building islands and shit. But I don't, if there was
hey, Andy, as an American guy, I do not disagree with you. I do not like the way we invade other countries. I'm going to call it an invasion, too. We invade other countries to spread democracy. You know what I mean? Well, I don't like it. I totally agree. And, that's why, all these other countries I visit, I like to ask people what they think about America. And most people like America, but they say, oh, y'all are just running all over the country or all over the world, invading countries and taking their oil. That's what most foreigners tell me. That's the way they see it.
I like America. Most of the fucking people, realistically, if I'm on my anti-gun, if I'm on my anti-American rant, it's basically fucking, where I get this information from is Americans. You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, you're not anti-American. You're anti-American government. Like, you don't hate American people. You hate what the government does.
Excellent friends that fucking been friends for fucking over 20 years fucking from America. Fucking, I like America. I like everyone. But I do not fucking like the military-industrial complex, which seems to be fucking, fucking infiltrating all governments these days.
Well, you can go back to the days of Eisenhower when he warned the American public about that.
That's why I like Eisenhower.
Eisenhower, yeah. Look, there's been a lot of great presidents. But the problem with the US government is that, unfortunately, you have big companies who, and the guys running these companies who are in the ears of all these politicians, and oil is, unfortunately, it is a cause of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I do. Gunner, I do fucking carry on about Australian government as well because they're a motherfucking. They don't represent me at all.
Yeah.
Mob of cunts.
Yeah, Gunner, I have to admit, the Australian government is fucking. They're pathetic.
Most governments these days are kind of.
I'll tell you what, I think at the moment, say, our Prime Minister, I got no time and fucking for any Morrison or whatever, but Trump at least wants to do the right thing for the fucking people, so and for his country, so you can't knock the guy.
I've seen a thing today about him fucking how he reckons there should be. He said this. There should be. He was with fucking at a Hillsong convention. I mean, Hillsong. That's enough fucking said. But hey, fucking there should be more love and more prayers. That's our point.
Well, he's done.
It should be more love and prayers, but he's a bit of a dickhead.
He's done something that I haven't seen many presidents do. When they shot down a drone and the generals came to him and asked. He was the one that turned around and said, "Well, it was a drone shot down. I don't see the reason to take fucking lives for the sake of a drone being shot down." Which is, to me, the guy really needed or deserved to get a lot more credit for that.
Our government might fucking be a mob of cunts, but we're not floating around the fucking South China Sea or in the fucking Gulf or fucking any of that. There's only one country that's fucking.
Yeah, hey, Andy, to be fair, if we had the military might that the US, we might not be any different.
Well, we don't know because we only got 25 million in the whole people in the whole fucking place.
I know, but it may be a different thing if we had the military might that the US had. They got the muscle.
Well, listen, first of all, it's not just America. Even though we mainly do it, we are the culprits. There's plenty of other countries running around sailing their ships and in places maybe they shouldn't be. The English come to mind.
Well, they're these days, but if there was a Chinese fleet sitting off the coast of fucking California in international waters, there'd be fucking hell to pay. I mean,
could definitely bring tension up for sure. Yeah.
No, but
there's a reason. There is a reason why the US are doing that. I mean, China is a threat to a lot of small countries around it.
But as I think Lefty said, I mean, I don't know. I have to go check that. But he reckons that China's never attacked a sovereign country. Now, I don't know, but thinking. Well,
it depends how far back you want to go in time. I mean, 50s and 60s, they were all in Nepal and some parts of India. And
true, good point. Fucking lost. See, there you go. See, I really remember that they took over fucking. Well, you'd know that as a Buddhist, wouldn't you?
Well, it wasn't just what they did to the Buddhist people, but they were.
Tell me
why. They were
why.
demolishing religion in general.
Yeah, the thing is, Andy, if it wasn't for the US and their military might, how far would have Russia pushed things?
Well,
how far would China push things?
I don't necessarily agree with everything America does, but luckily we have a democratic type republic that has this massive army and not some communist Nazi type country.
Agree,
I think things would be a lot different in the world,
You're human.
I agree, Lost.
The human
like if America didn't have their military might during the Cold War, what do you think Russia would have done?
You guys were flying spy planes over their fucking country.
Everybody did.
Listen,
anybody can have a spy plane will do the same. Okay, it's not like America's the only country that does spying technology type stuff. Which is better at it, but
back in the 60s, you guys had it. They didn't have it. You guys were doing it. I seen a fucking thing the other day about there was some secret base in Russia where the only plane that could fucking do it was a British Canberra, and they fucking flew it over because it could go higher than the fucking MiGs and fucking take photos of this fucking secret Russian base. Why? Because I guess they had to know, you know. Well, and then really, there's like pictures of a fucking base that was fucking in it. Fuck. You know, it's a fucking lot of things. Some of us fucking look at every side of things. Others of us just fucking, well, in our paradigm.
Like I said, though, I think we can safely say that it's probably been to the benefit of all that the US has been the power it has been, because if it'd been Russia or China with that sort of power, I think the world would have been a real hot box, and things probably wouldn't be the same as they are at the moment.
Yeah, luckily there was a kind of a check and balance of other mites, I guess.
What if? We haven't had that choice.
Would you, Andy? You were breaking up, or you stepped away from your mic or something. Couldn't hear you.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm about fucking 10 feet from my mic. I'll move it closer. Sorry, Colin. I'll just, you know, that's a what if thing. I mean, because realistically, all we've had is America in charge, and hell, I mean, you guys could do a lot fuckload better. What? No fucking private healthcare. Hell, you guys have spent how much on fucking? You guys spend more than the next fucking 10 countries, fucking 15 countries that fucking. You spend, I mean, I think what I said the other day, America spends like $500 billion on fucking armaments every year. Fucking China.
Yeah, I think a third of our budget is basically military.
No, China spends about $253, so about a quarter.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't compare.
Russia spends like $100 million a year, fucking $100 billion a year. Sorry,
Yeah, but,
you know what I mean? Fucking
look what happened to Russia, mate. Russia have fallen into a hole.
Yeah, well,
You know, the USSR, mate, fell apart.
you know they got the biggest diamond mine in the world.
No, I didn't know.
Well, they had. There you go.
I thought it was in. I thought the biggest diamond mine was in South Africa or Africa. I don't know if it's South Africa specifically.
Well, but
you're talking about the Kimberleys, isn't that the Kimberley?
They have fucking.
Hey Ed, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Hang on, Ed.
Hi, Andy.
What's up, Edward?
Nothing. And I tell you why, Andy, the United States Navy patrol. I'm going to tell you why they patrol the South Pacific. China has taken over a bunch of islands that they claim that they're theirs, but they're not.
Yeah, no, I know that. I've said that before. I know they've been making their own islands and shit up. I know. I do know that.
And it's a big shipping ground. If something's happened to that shipping ground, who's going to protect it?
Yeah.
Who's going to protect that shipping route? Like, say China went off the end and said, okay, we're going to take the shipping route. Nobody's going to pass any goods through here. Who's going to protect it?
Yeah, it's
The
a good point.
Philippines can't do it. They got an island that belongs to the Philippines. The Philippines can't do anything about it. Vietnam, Taiwan, Indonesia, China controls a lot of their islands. Who's going to do anything about it? Those countries don't have militaries to do anything. If
So
the
it's up
United
to
States
you
was in there,
No, but Andy, who else has got the military power to do it? That's the whole thing. Is no one else could police it like they can. You know, I mean, the UK is not a power anymore. Australia's got no hope. Yeah.
Well,
there's
the
no
UK
European
still has a
countries.
very powerful navy, though. Let's not.
I don't think.
That's not. No, I know otherwise. UK's navy is they have a quite capable and powerful navy.
Oh, look, they got a capable military, and no doubt, and they're up there with technology as well. But I don't think they don't have the numbers to, send fleets all over the world to, police anything.
Oh. Bullshit.
Yeah, not comparing it. Yeah, not comparing it to the state or the U.S. for sure.
I mean, they're great backup for the US, like Australia is, but unfortunately, it's just the way it is. I mean, US have that military power to be able to do that.
Yeah, and fuck their citizens because fucking Gaga giving them fucking healthcare.
Well, again, that's an issue inside of the country for them.
And human rights abuses, fuck. War crimes, let's not fucking start. I'm gonna shut up before I fucking every American just say they don't like space. Some of them don't like the fucking truth. No?
Well, yeah, with the US, Johnny, without a doubt. But they don't have the numbers, you know, to do what the US can do.
Well, you should be up here fucking helping change the subject there, Cobber. Look, that's why I need to get this fucking computer so we can go fucking. These guys won't hear from me again. I'll be playing games.
Oh, actually, David told me to get on your case about getting that computer, Andy. He wants to go gaming with you as well.
Lately, I've been fucking worried about what's it. Fine, I don't use very often. What's it? These fucking 5 days now. Fucking useless. Gonna have to go pay my bills by hand. Fucking terrible. Yeah, it's. So now, what are we going to talk about? Oh, it's every other subject fucking. Every other subject I don't want to talk about. Fucking Justin make me. You don't believe this? No, fucking I'm just saying.
Andy, I find it funny how you start a conversation that hasn't happened yet. Like you're already getting ready for for someone's comeback before it even happens.
That's actually what happened the last time I fucking lost the plot with you. It was like I could see where you were going with the conversation. So I just kind of lost the plot where, as I said to Thunder, I think I might even said it to you. Fucking, can't start a discussion with, do you fucking believe? That's not a fucking thing of any discussion. That's fucking like you're trying to fucking, you're going down a certain tangent already.
So I got a topic. We're going to talk about something. Since you sent me that moon thing, dude, I have been all over listening to and reading and documentaries all about our solar system here lately. Thank you very much for that.
It's quite interesting. Like I said, even that whole, there's plenty of countries that talk about, ancient peoples that talk about the time before the moon. Now that's a weird thing to say. I mean, like I said, I don't know what there about today, but well, I think lately I've been, what have I been looking at?
So, all right, you one of the things, well, I guess it's kind of false and true depending on how you want to classify Pluto. But the Earth's moon is like the largest compared to the size of the planet.
Yes, compared to the size of the planet.
Except for Pluto, but we're calling it a dwarf planet now. So technically and technically.
One of it's a question in my, so I guess I can take it out. The actual largest moon in the solar system, as we know it, is Ganymede.
Well, yeah, I forget. I know like Jupiter and Saturn have like maybe the top 4
Ganymede
moon. I think the Earth is the moon, our Earth moon is like number 5. I think.
Ours is in comparison to ours is the largest in comparison to the size of our planet. So about approximately, it's a little bit less, approximately a quarter of the size of our planet.
Yeah.
Where Ganymede is the biggest one of all, biggest moon in the solar system. For size alone, not in comparison to I think it's Jupiter.
Yeah, that one's roughly the size of like Mars or something like that. The biggest one. But then again, it's going around Jupiter, and Jupiter's giant. So.
I've too many subjects. So lately, the other day.
What's going on with your mic, Andy?
I know. You know, my fucking look. It's probably the computer, man. You know, at the moment. Then again, maybe it's the NSA trying to fucking book me out.
I'm not sure actually if it's come from Ed's or yours.
No, it's not mine.
You talking about? I'm not making any wind noise. There's no fucking wind in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Kind of wind noise through the mic.
The wind noise is coming from my fan.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is then.
Not me.
Sorry, Andy.
No, Andy, you're not making the wind noise, but you are coming in and out like you get close to your mic and then far away and close to your mic. That's what it kind of sounds like.
I'm moving like I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm no, sorry. I'm still I must have been 3 fucking feet away. I'm about 2 feet away now.
Yeah, I noticed when you get a little excited on the topic, you when you start coming in and out like you're going forward and backing up, and
I probably am.
Like you're moving around everywhere.
I mean, I'm always moving. I tell you what I've been doing lately, Thunder. Everywhere I walk around, I've been doing fucking 10-pin bowling movements. Maybe I'll fucking, maybe I should go back to it now. I can fucking, hey, you know. I don't know why. Fucking
yeah, Johnny. Australians have served with the US forces too in different positions.
I was in the reserves back in the day. 144 Signal Corps at fucking Beulah Park.
I know that during the Gulf Wars, that was mostly the Australian SAS that were over there.
Oh yeah, no, they will send the SAS. You know, they're based in Western Australia, aren't they? I reckon the SAS.
Western Australia, yeah, they are. Yeah, Graham, we do have a SAS unit. That's who usually we send over to aid in a lot of these conflicts. I'm not sure 0846 is WAE. Guys, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah. That's good,
Jesus.
isn't it? See, that was my first thought was, yet we couldn't think of the title. You could have put, fuck, is it too early to fucking, too late to fucking start a stream? You fucking started talking. Listen, just like I was.
Well,
Hey?
I was debating it for a while and then couldn't sleep, so thought jump on.
I almost joined the Air Force actually, fucking until fucking I joined the railways instead. And fucking sometimes I wish I'd fucking join the Air Force, but I'll probably still be in it. But fucking but I had a good time in the railways. Fucking hell. Fucking 2 hours sleep, fucking time.
7:30 p.m. there. Oh, yeah, Johnny, you're in the UK, okay.
That's what we're about.
Well, guys, I might call it quits. I mean, it's open for you, Andy, if you wanted to start a stream. I'm sure guys will be looking for a place to go have a chat. I know Lost is still working, so.
Yeah, I freaking need someone to fucking bounce off of, you know? I'm like good.
Yeah, I'm about almost done.
Okay, fucking.
But yeah, 4 a.m. and.
All is well. Doesn't sound like there's much fun going on out there. Oh.
Where's Crystal? I haven't seen her out.
She's doing things around the house and. just talking to her actually. Then she was sending messages, and I'm
She's trying to
struggling to
impress
see
you
the
with her,
screen. And
her womanly house duties.
no.
I'm joking, you know.
Board observer. All right, that'd be different.
Yep,
Tell her I said hello, lovely Chris.
I will do, Ed.
Thank you.
I will do. All right, guys. As I said, it's 4 a.m. here. Everything's starting to blur on me. So I'm gonna try and push this bloody dog out the way and see if I can't lay down and time to relax and crash out. So thanks for joining us, Andy, Ed, Lost,
Yep, appreciate
Popeye.
it. Thanks for inviting me again.
Yeah, thanks.
Anytime, mate. You're always welcome. Can you just give a shout out to Flying Circus who lost his wife? That's commiserations to Flying Circus who lost his wife. That's very sad.
Who did?
Flying Circus. I'm not
Flying
sure I
Circus.
know who that is, but
I don't either, but
throw
sorry
out
for that.
condolences. Yeah, later, Graham.
See you later.
And thanks for everyone for joining us. And
Yep, later, chatters. Remember,
we'll
block
catch
the
us all.
trolls.
Yeah,
The message of the day:
I mean,
block trolls.
it's getting ridiculous. I mean, I prefer having the chats that we have here rather than getting involved in all the tit for tat shit.
I agree.
Wife and driver tragic accident.
Oh boy.
Sorry to hear that. Damn. That's I can imagine that would be devastating. So
That's right. There's suddenly it's fucking is it or it's just
yeah, definitely. Well, condolences to him and his family, and there's probably unfortunately nothing we can say to make someone feel better in that situation. Just can just hope he gets through it, all right, and hope he's got good people around him to support him, because it's bloody tragic. But thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll catch us all later. Thanks for popping in. Okay, no worries, Johnny. Thanks for letting us know. I'm sure some of the people in here will know who that guy is. And Jesus.
Yeah, hi. I'm not. I've got him. I think I've got him on my list, actually, on my subscriptions.
Okay. Well, it's just sad to hear that. Well, guys, I'm out of here. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for the guys on the panel. We'll catch us all later. Bye.
See ya.